5 yards when really there was nothing there.
Absolutely. He recognized right away, and rather than kind of blame somebody, he just took off. So that brings up a third down. It looks like 3rd down and 6 from the 41-yard line. Another big 3rd down for the Beavers defense here as Hughes is in the shotgun. Got the running back to his right this time. He is going back. He's going to throw it over the middle again and think he has got it. It is incomplete. Okay, didn't see because the referee looked like he was going to mark the ball, but it's incomplete. Ball thrown a little bit too low, and again, a good hold by the Beaver defense.
Jalen Hammer was obviously the intended target, but give Kai Wallen from his left defensive end spot, did the old swim technique around the right tackle, was able to get in on Hughes and force him to throw the ball a little quicker than he wanted.
So Dante Jackson comes in again. He had a big booming punt last time, but it was returned by Freeman for a big gain, so let's see how he does it this time. He's going to go ahead and directionally kick that one over to the left side, but Freeman moves over. He's going to take it right there and he is going to just get about 3 yards. He got it about the 14. He was tripped up right away, fell ahead to the 17, and that's where the Beavers will take over 1st and 10.
Good coverage. I tell you, he's got a lot of courage. A lot of guys back deep might have fair caught that one, but nonetheless, he takes it, doesn't want it to go over his head and run the risk of it going back inside of his 10. So Matt Carlisle jogs back out for his second series.
And we can really see why Dante Jackson has a 42-yard average. He really gets that's the second one in a row. Now he is going with the win a little bit, but still, that's the second run in a row. Very impressive. And here's Carlisle with the one running back to his left on the 17-yard line, 1st and 10. Butte shows pressure, going to be a handoff, and it's going to be dropped back at about the 15, or now about the 10-yard line. Good job by the Roadrunners on that one.
They had 3 receivers set to the left to try to overflow coverage there. They handed it off to Casey Riley to the right, but a great job by the Butte Roadrunners defense to actually shut him down in the backfield.
Riley in there. I don't think have seen Joshua Moore yet today. We've seen Tariq Parker in the backfield. Also, we've run Turi Hendrick and Robert Freeman in the backfield. So 2nd down now. Looks like it's still 10 yards to go. And it's going to hand off to Riley. He comes over to the left side. He's going to get right back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard or so more, but no more than that. And we're going to look at right now deep in their own territory. Scott is 3rd and about 13.
Thomas Lane from Centennial High School in Las Vegas is the one that made the stop, but now it's a 3rd and long deep in their own territory for the Beavers.
So they went with the run to Riley 2 plays in a row, and they are now 3rd and we'll call it 14. Carlisle with the running back to his right. He's got 2 out to the right, 1 to the left. And Butte is ready to go. They are in the starting blocks. They've done it every play this series. They really look like they're just going to send everybody. As the Beavers offensive line points out the responsibilities. Carlisle standing about his 5. He's going to go back. He's going to come up, get himself some room. He throws it across the middle and deflected and broken up on a good play by the Butte College defensive back, and he'll set up a punt for American River.
You know, Malcolm DeWalt did a great job coming up from his safety spot to knock that away, but the receiver, Brandon Barthel, did not go back to the football. The ball was a little bit thrown soft into the wind. It's one of those ones that needs to be thrown more on a line. Nonetheless, Matt Carlisle's pass was a little late, gets knocked away, and now they've got a punt.
Yeah, DeWalt with 2nd on the team in tackles, coming in 1st on the team in tackles for loss, so he's been an impressive defensive player. And now it's Basirovich, as we mentioned before, really highly regarded by his coaches. He's going to have to get that one out of there, and it's going to be knocked down by the wind at about the 40-yard line. It bounces back a little bit, and it's going to be at the 36-yard line of the Beavers, so just about a 27-yard punt for Basirovich, and it's going to be great field position here for the Roadrunners.
A pivotal drive for the Roadrunners. They trail this one 14-7 with 7:45 to go, but they've got the ball at the 36. It's already in 4-down territory for them. You trail by 7, and you know the struggles that the Beavers just had on offense, knowing the Beavers get it first in the second half. You really think here they want to punch in some points.
Yeah, Beavers tried to use the run a couple times, didn't get anything going, and had to go to the pass on 3rd down. So here's Hughes. 1st down and 10 from the Beaver 36. Running back behind him. We've got motion to the left. He's going to hand it off and met right at the line of scrimmage, falling ahead for maybe 1 more yard. Butte College setting up a 2nd and 8.
That defensive front for the Beavers has been stout all day. Nonetheless, Caleb Ramseer that time running hard. All 3 yards are really – he was met at the line of scrimmage and just fell forward for about 3 yards, almost 4 on the carry.
Yeah, Ramsey came in with almost 400 yards on the ground, another 100 through the air, so over 500 total yards from his running back position. 2nd and 10, make it 2nd and 8, actually, as he got about 2 as Hughes is in the shotgun. Motion from the left all the way through Troy Davis. He looks to the right. He's going to hit the running back, Ramsey. He's got a little bit of room, misses one tackler, going to get down very close to the first down and about a 7-yard gain for the Roadrunners, and we'll see how that is marked. We might have a 3rd down coming up.
It's going to be 3rd and short. Put Troy Davis in motion that time. Already had 2 receivers over here, so that put 3 receivers out to block on it. Good little throw out time to Ramsey. He follows his blocks. It is now 3rd and 2.
They like to use Davis and put him in motion on a lot of their plays, and they haven't really used him yet and when he's in motion, but they use him as a decoy. So here we go, 3rd and 1. As you mentioned, 4-down territory here for the Roadrunners. They're under center with Tanner Hughes, and now everybody on the Beavers is pointing, which usually means a false start, and that's going to bring up a little bit tougher 3rd down and 6 now for the Roadrunners.
Yeah, the 4th time they've had a legal procedure, and they've done it twice on short yardage situation. They did it on 1st and goal at the 1 down there, backed them up to the 6. They ended up scoring, but the way the wind is right now going into the wind, you got to think that this is 4-down territory when you're down 7, and 3rd and 7 is a lot different than 3rd and 2.
Yeah, they're definitely going to go for it, I believe, on 4th down, and they've got the wind on their side, so they might be able to do something when they do have a really good kicker, but I don't think they're looking at that right now. As Hughes in the shotgun, he's got Ramsey behind him. In motion is Cooper. The handoff, fake handoff, and they're going to hit Cooper on the left side. He's closed out. He breaks the tackle, and it looks like he breaks the tackle enough. He's going to pick up about 9 yards and a Roadrunner 1st down.
Give all the credit in the world to Tanner Hughes on that play. He's under duress. He fakes the handoff and gets the ball out to Landon Cooper. That is not easy to do all 3 of those things in a quick period of time when you got people bearing down on you.
24-yard line, 1st down and 10. Good closure, good pursuit by American River College, but Cooper, give him credit, breaks a tackle and gets the 1st down. And here we are with Hughes in the shotgun. He's going to pitch it out to Ramsey, right side, cuts back, now goes back out to the outside, cuts back inside, gets down to about the 17-yard line. So a good gain on the play by Ramsey, sets up a 2nd down here for the Roadrunners.
Little sweep to the right, to the wide side. He's lined up to his right, gets the quick pitch, runs and does a great job of patiently running behind his blocks. They got a good downfield surge, one of the first big surges we've seen, and they pick up 6 yards.
2nd and 4 now from right around the 18-yard line. Hughes going to hand that off to Ramsey. He's going to go right side. Good pursuit by the Beavers to knock him down at about the 14. He's going to be very close to the 1st down. And our tackler, I think, was Matulich, I think. And he is going to come off a little bit hobbled as he makes a great play on pursuit. And it does set up a 3rd down and 1.
Matulich came from the backside. He was the backside linebacker that chased the running back down. It looked like Ramsey would have more time and more yards, but a great tackle.
3rd and 1 at the 15, and it's going to be Hughes just on the quarterback sneak, and they'll do the scrum play, which Scott is very fond of, and gets it all the way down to the 9-yard line. And we've got a lot of activity by the Beavers indicating they think they've got the ball. And I don't see anybody in stripes that says the same thing, though, unfortunately, for Beaver fans.
Well, they're holding on to the football.
Well, they do have the ball. I'm not going to dispute that, but we have to get somebody to validate that, and that's going to be the problem, as it doesn't look like anybody is about to do that. So in that scrum, it looked like maybe something came loose, but you never know when they blow the whistle on those things or anything. And the referees did not look like they had any serious idea of giving that ball to American River.
Well, that's what happens when you have that massive humanity, 20 bodies in the middle, and the Zebras are out to the side. They didn't even see if the ball might have changed hands a couple times.
Almost 4 minutes to go here in the half. 1st down. Right at about the 10-yard line. Hughes is going to hand it off to Ramsey. He goes up the middle to the 8, down to the 6-yard line. Gang tackled by the Beavers, and as the first half dwindles out of here, under 4 minutes to go, it'll be 2nd down. And I don't think it's goal to go. No, it is a goal to go, so 2nd and goal from the 6.
You're starting to get the sense that the Roadrunner offensive line is starting to get a push that they didn't before, and that's because the Beaver defense has been on the field a lot of this quarter. That 3-and-out really hurt the Beavers, put their defense right back on the field.
Yeah, Butte College looks like they got some beef up there on the front on the offensive line, and they are making their presence felt, Ramsey being the beneficiary of it. Hughes in the shotgun. He's going to pitch it out to Caleb. Goes to the left side, cuts it back. Nicely done by the Beavers and knock him down right about the 5-yard line. It's going to bring up a third down for Butte. And again, the Beavers coming out with the ball, but they can't convince anybody who counts that they do own it. I think it's Dom Spence. No, it's number 93, I think, came out with the ball. But again, they are please fall on deaf ears as it'll be third down for the Run Runners. The Beavers just held on to the ball and kept holding on to it, and finally they've returned it to the field of play.
James Turrentine came out with it and was running, and he ran so effusively he immediately hit his helmet and said, I need to come out, I'm tired.
Yeah.
He's not built for 20-yard sprints.
I think he might have gone back in. I saw that, and I think they said, no, James, get back in there.
He's over here next to an oxygen tank.
Oh, yeah, there he is. Okay. So third and goal from the 5. Hughes with a runner to his left. He's going to go back. It's going to be a fade in the end zone. Looks like there's a lot of contact, and it is the flag on the play. I think we're going to have a pass interference on the Beavers.
Brendan Barthel over there, one-on-one route. They were basically locked up. The pass was pretty well thrown, but a lot of hand fighting, and they called the pass interference, and it'll give them a first down for the Roadrunners.
Yeah, and in those situations, if you don't turn around, if you got your back to the quarterback and you don't see it and you just play the face guard game, usually they will go ahead and give that to the wide receiver. So it is a first down on the penalty at the 2-yard line for Butte College. 2:35 to go first half. American River leads this one 14-7. And it was good defense as far as Barthel staying with them, but again, he did not turn around, and that's when there's a little contact and you don't turn around, they inevitably give that to the offense. And here's Hughes. He's going to go ahead and follow. He's going to hand it off to Ramseer up the middle, and the scrum looks like it got into the end zone. Touchdown for Butte College.
Ramseer does a great job, and that was the first time Butte College really got a good push. That was a great drive. You got to go back to those third down conversions they had that put them in that position. But Ramseer ran with a lot of confidence on that drive. The offensive line got a lot of push. And now with 2:28 to go, it's a whole new ball game.
Yeah, I know. You've got American River's defense probably is in there going, look, we recovered fumbles twice, and we didn't get anything out of it. We should have had the ball. But it ends up being a Butte touchdown, and Dante Jackson comes in. He is 22 out of 25 on extra points this year. The ball is down its place. He kicks it, and it's off the left upright, and that's going to leave American River College with a 1-point lead as they will get the ball with 2:28 to go.
That drive started really at their own 40-yard line inside the 40.
36,
it was
36.
They went 36 yards, but in that 36 yards, they took about 6 minutes off the clock.
They actually did, and as you pointed out, that 6 minutes that the Beaver defense had to be on the field. So it is critical, obviously, for the Beaver offense to maintain possession for this next 2:28.
Well, they lead it by 1, 14-13. This will be probably their last drive if they can get a couple of first downs, and they go in the locker room, they get it first in the second half. So this is a very critical, and you got to think if you're Butte here, you had to burn a lot of those timeouts early.
Exactly.
If the Beavers are able to run the football, they're not going to be able to call the timeouts that they wish they had.
And they're going to be able probably to kick this one into the end zone from this side going north to south with Dante Jackson. So we'll see what the Beavers can do. And you're right. I think they got to play this last 2:28 to make sure that Butte does not get the ball back in this half, because with that receiving the ball at the second half, that's a huge advantage. And here's Dante Jackson. A high kick is going to go down into the end zone. So it will be a touchback, and the Beavers will start it 1st and 10.
Yeah, you look at Butte, they had to take 2 timeouts in the first quarter when they were down in the red zone. So now with 2:28 to go, where they like to have 3 timeouts, they only have 1. So really 1 first down ends the first half if you're American River.
Yeah, and usually in these situations, that first play coming out of the huddle, right from the sidelines, that first play dictates the way the next 2:28 will go. So the Beavers ready to go. Barthel out to the left. Looks like Kenny Leith is back in at quarterback. He's got a running back behind him. Everybody's wearing so much pink, it's hard to tell everybody apart. So Leith with it. He's going to, it's a pass, and he's got under pressure, and he is sacked, and that's what we're talking about, that first play, and that's probably going to be a timeout now by Butte.
No, they're going to get a face mask on the sack. It's going to be a great advantage here for American River. When they took him down, they grabbed his face mask. They had plenty of pressure. They didn't need to do it. But they went and they took him down, and it was Elijah O'Neal, the outstanding linebacker. They're going to say face mask. At least that's what the refs are talking about right now.
Well, let's see if they call that one off. But the pressure, as you mentioned, the pressure was in on Leith right away, and the penalty was thrown. If the penalty's thrown, we'll have to see.
Just a matter of whether they wave it off or not.
American River already feeling bad about those 2 fumbles they got that they didn't get credit for. So this would be a bitter blow if they were to have a penalty taken off the board.
And it looks like they are waving it off.
It is going to be waved off. So let's see if Butte then called their third and final timeout. And Beavers are coming up to the line of scrimmage like they're ready to play, and the clock is running. So I would think that American River would want to take time off the clock. Second down, and officially it looks like 20 yards to go. They've got to get to the 35-yard line. They sit at the 15. 2 minutes to go in the half. And it's going to be Leith again. He throws it over to the right side. It looks like it's complete, but very minimal gain over there on the right side. And now a third down quickly with just over 150 to go, Scott, in this first half. And now this timeout is coming.
Well, you knew the timeout would come after second down. That's usually where they had it. But I tell you, if you're head coach John Osterhout, whose team came up with the football twice and they said, no, there wasn't a fumble, and then there looked like there was going to be a face mask call and it off, he has to be very frustrated. Nonetheless, it is a third and a long way to go, and it's 1:51 to go. So if you are Butte, you really like this situation, and it gives you some options from an offensive standpoint. Are we going to run a screen pass? We're going to try to throw it down the field and pick up the first down, or are we going to run it into the line of scrimmage, burn 40 seconds, and then kick it against the wind? The last punt they had was very short, so that's another factor that comes into your head. Do we run it, try to pick up 5 or 6 and get better field position for the punt?
Yeah, I think you're right. But I do think that, especially since you're going against the wind, if you're going to try to pass for the 15 yards, whatever it is, 17 yards, that's going to be tough to throw the ball that far downfield against that wind. We've seen that affect a couple of the passes already. I would think that you go ahead, you run the ball, you try to make a couple of yards, but you burn the 40 seconds, and you try to get Basirovich in there to get his foot in it and give you the best kick he can. Now, as you mentioned, the last one only went about 26, 27 yards. The wind knocked it down, but much better, I think, than trying to throw a pass. You get incomplete, and all of a sudden they've got over a minute and a half to go with the ball with good field position. So we'll see. I'm shutting that one down, a very, very short gain, probably about 3 yards. So 3rd and 17. And now they're going to
they're asking to reset the clock to a different level.
Well, it's at 151 right now. That looked like it about right, as it was 157 when it started. So they want to go to 155, it sounds like, which doesn't make too much sense, but okay. I'll go with you. So far, as you mentioned earlier, Scott, Coach Osterhout was not real happy with the referees early on in the game, and maybe that has not changed as we approach halftime here. So 1:55 to go first half. Leith in the shotgun, running back to his right. He is going to throw, looks down the field, lets it go down the middle, not even looking. There's looks like it is incomplete.
Almost intercepted.
Almost intercepted, almost caught, but it took only 5 seconds off the clock. And now, Scott, you've got to punt it anyway, and you've got 150 left for Butte College.
Yeah, interesting play call. Actually, if this would have been completed, they went to the tight end up the gut. Ian Simpson, the tight end there. If he catches it clean, they do pick up a first down. It bounced off his hands, and Lydell Hudson, the defensive back for Butte, almost had an interception.
Well, you got to weigh that possibility against the taking 40 more seconds off the clock. So at his 40-yard line, the punt returner waits. Here's Basirovich. Lets it go. That's a much better punt than he got last time. He's shutting him all the way back, picks it up at the 25-yard line, immediately covered by the Beavers. Scott, that's a huge play.
That's absolutely huge. I was just about to say the last 2 times the Beavers have had the ball, they've gone 3 and out and haven't taken off much time at all. But that punt right there just completely changed the complexion. You thought they might get it around the 40 or 50. Now they're going to get it at the 25. Got to be a little bit more careful about what you call, because American River does have 2 timeouts.
Yeah, and that's about a 50-yard punt. Give Basirovich a lot of credit for that one. He really got his foot in that one, drove it through the wind, kind of like a 3-iron maybe, getting right through the wind. Not your 3-iron, but most people's. So here's Tanner Hughes out here with 1:39 to go. His team trailing by 1, 14-13. He's got one running back behind him, Ranciere. He's going to go ahead and go back to pass. He looks down the middle, lets it fly, and it is knocked down at the line of scrimmage by the defensive thrust of the American River College Beavers.
Trying to go to Troy Davis on an underneath route. He had two receivers go deep, one dragging over the middle. Davis would have had a lot of field in front of him to run left and right, but a good job by the defensive line for the Beavers just knocking that down. So now with second down, if they're able to stop this play, you can actually think about getting your timeouts if you want to get the ball back.
Exactly, and that he did a double clutch, as you mentioned he did once earlier in the game. Hughes did that. I think that might have thrown him off on that play. So second down from the 25, call it 26-yard line. They're going to go ahead and pass again. There's a good pressure from the left side. He gets away from it. Hughes now is over the line of scrimmage. He's going to run out of bounds right about the 35-yard line. He will be about 2 yards short of a first down, sending up a third down here.
Smart job, though. Just tucks it away, runs 8 yards, knows where the sticks are, gets close to it, runs out of bounds, gives them a third and very manageable, too.
Now, Dante Jackson is the kicker for Butte College. He is 3 for 4 on field goals. His long is 34 yards, so not quite in his range yet, but they are with the win. So third down and 2 to go on the 35. In the shotgun, Hughes. He's going to hand that one off to Ramsey, left side. He gets, I think he's a little bit short of the first down, which would set up a fourth down if he is short.
He is short, and they absolutely are going to have to punt. He didn't actually pick up anything. A nice job that time by Ajayi, the defensive lineman from Del Campo, coming down and finishing that up. The defensive line that time for American River did a great job. They knocked down the first down pass, and there they shut down the run.
Yeah, and as you talked about, they were kind of worn out a little bit earlier, but they've come back really fresh on that one. And if they do cause this punt, now they do have the wind behind them. So Jackson, as we've seen, a couple of beautiful punts, but when you've got Robert Freeman back there, anything can happen if you're a Beaver supporter. So here we go. Jackson will kick from about his 25-yard line. There have been a couple close calls on the punts so far. Beavers not wanting to get a penalty, haven't gone all out for it. That's a little high snap, and they're in on it again, but another good kick by Jackson, and that one probably will not be returned as it's out of bounds. And we'll see where it's marked by the referee. It looks like he's walking up to the 18-yard line where the Beavers will have it first and 10, 57 seconds to go in the half.
I tell you, the punters the last two series have really changed the complexion, Phantom, because if that's a returnable punt at all, as you mentioned with Freeman, that might give them some field position. So that's an excellent punt to kick it out of bounds. Actually landed on the track and then had one of those moments where the ref kind of tries to guess where it went, but they're going to have it at their own 19.
Now, do you go ahead and you throw here? Now, you'd think you want to run it out and get that first half over with, but Leith is in the shotgun, and he put the ball up the last series, so let's see what happens here. He's got one guy to his left. He's going to pass. Looks like a screen pass, and it's knocked down by the defensive lineman for Butte College, sets up a second down.
He was going to Tariq Parker, and everyone was yelling screen right away as they kind of let them come in. You got to think if you're American River with Butte having no timeouts. One of the plays has got, the first play is screen pass, so we get a bunch of yards, then we're going to go for it. If we don't, now we're just going to run in the line of scrimmage, take our lead in the locker room.
That's what you go ahead and give yourself a chance, and you call something you haven't done all game, and that was a screen pass. But fortunately, I thought the acting on that screen pass wasn't premier Oscar level, and I think that was a good play by the Butte defensive line. So second and 10 now from the 18. Leith in the shotgun. He is going to go ahead and run it himself up the middle. He's got 5. He's got 10. He looks like he's got about 12 yards. He's going to get all the way out to the 30-yard line, and maybe that's worth thinking about a timeout for the Beavers.
Well, clock stops as they reset the chain, so now they can kind of rethink what they want to do.
Quickly moves up there, like you said, as the chains are resetting. It took a little time to reset those chains. We've seen it done faster. And Leith is going to try to pass it, and it's off the hands of his receiver. And it is incomplete at the 35-yard line.
Yeah, that wouldn't have gotten them a lot, maybe 6-7 yards. He was trying to throw it underneath. They threw 3 little curl routes there, but the receiver tried to run before he cut it. That was Grayson Barnes.
Grayson Barnes, who is the top receiver on the Beavers so far. Not too much going on in the first half for Grayson. His Beavers ahead 14-13. It is a second down. It is from the 31-yard line. We have made the last 2 minutes of this half effectively last 12 minutes, and so I think we're to be congratulated. Leith in the shotgun. He's going to do another quarterback draw up the middle, and he's going to get another 8 yards, it looks like, up to about the 39-yard line. So looked out like he was going to throw a little toss out to the running back, Scott, and then just took it himself.
predetermined quarterback draw the whole way, runs up there. They are not using their timeout. So Coach Osterhout is just happy, and now he takes one. Interesting with 14 seconds to go.
I was just going to say he's happy about Basirovich's punt that got him out of trouble, and he's just going to go in and, collect his marbles and go on home. But maybe they're going to talk about the thought. Maybe we go ahead and, send one down the sideline. Maybe we try a little Hail Mary action.
Well, it's 3rd and 4 at the 37, so you take the timeout with 14 seconds to go. Maybe you hit your tight end, Barnes, down the middle on the seam, pick up 20 or 25. Clock stops to reset. One more down the middle, you can spike it, and then burn the timeout and get a kick maybe at the end of the half. Yep. So he's trying to count on this with 14 seconds. If they don't get it and have to punt, the half will be over.
Yeah, it sounds like that's a lot to do in 14 seconds. Maybe if you had 24 seconds, maybe you do that. But I don't know, maybe it's because we're older and we're a little more cautious. I think you're fortunate to be ahead 14-13 right now, and as you've mentioned a couple of times, you've got the ball coming out in the second half. So I say you go ahead, you fold your tent, you go up there, and you go ahead and you go into the locker room and you talk about things. You've been impressive so far. You're playing the number 8 team in the state who is, like we said, won 4 out of 5, and you're sticking right with them. You've won 2 in a row yourself, and you've shown people why you did because you played a pretty good first half.
All these young guys watch Tyreek Hill and Patrick Mahomes, and they think anything can happen in 11 seconds.
Yes.
But we'll see.
And they go, how does Patrick Mahomes throw it to Tyreek Hill when they're on different teams?
Well, not anymore. Thank you for that.
I was checking to see as an analyst if you were up to date on everything.
Well, one's on the Dolphins, one's on the Chiefs, but thank you for that.
That's a long pass right there. Here we go, 3rd down and 4. And it is a run right up the middle, and I don't think you're going to get 4 yards, get about 2 yards, and that's going to definitely put the clamps on the first half.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you're American River, you got to be pleased. You forced a turnover, you went down and you scored. And if you're Butte, you've got some things. You were down against the clock. You had to burn a lot of timeouts. You got a lot of penalties. Nonetheless, they've had 2 pretty good drives to make them feel pretty good about it. It's essentially 14-13. Pretty much the way we thought it would go, a tough football game.
Yeah, a tough football game. And I must say, just for me, I really have no idea what's going to happen in the second half, and that's an exciting thing to do. So we get into halftime here. We are at Beaver Stadium on the campus of American River College, Sacramento, California. Mark Phantom Lowe along with Scott Gordon. Our score at halftime, American River College, the home team, 14. The visitors, the Butte College Roadrunners, they have 13. You are watching American River College Athletics on YouTube, presented by the Stones Radio Networks.
scratching, spraying, and spinning.
Welcome back to Beaver Stadium. American River College against Butte College. American River leading this one 14-13. Mark Benham-Lowe along with my guest color analyst, Mr. Scott Gordon. And Scott, we have had a couple of minutes to think about what we saw. Like I said when we were going away, I watched the first half. I don't know what to expect in the second half. How about you?
Really, I mean, the way the game started, it looked like Butte was going to go right down the field. They go first down, and then the ball gets knocked loose. And then American River really just runs the ball down, gets a play action for a touchdown. They go up 7-0, and then Butte answers after a bit of using timeouts and penalties and things like that. It really felt like the first quarter was American River's, but they were only up 14-7. And in the second quarter, Butte really kind of corrected themselves and got the touchdown. And now they trail just by the missed extra point. I'd say going into the locker room, Butte has a little bit more momentum coming out in the second half.
Yeah, we were told by the defensive coordinator, I think that's J.J. Rodriguez, who was up here, that O'Neal and DeWalt, two of his standout defensive players, and I think that they actually showed why during that first half.
Well, and Elijah O'Neal, who made a couple great defensive plays as well, too. And then, again, I feel like American River has not settled in on their quarterback. We saw more of Kenny Lath on the play. He was on there, on there a little bit more. But Matt Carlisle actually led one of the touchdown drives. So be curious to see what they do in the second half. His athleticism brings a component to the game, but you really get the sense that the quarterback battles, really, Tanner Hughes does a really good job spreading the ball around for American River. They're going to have to settle on one of these guys in the second half.
Do you think that American River defensively, like you talked about, Tanner Hughes spreads the ball around, and it looks like if he has time, he's able to find targets. Do you think that American River defensively have to do a little bit of a sellout in some ways to try to stop them?
Well, they were getting a lot of pressure with just 4, which is great. It means you can drop 7 after that, but then it seemed like they made an adjustment, Butte did. So you're going to have to obviously bring a backer, bring an extra defensive end, because when you do get Tanner Hughes off of his spot, he does throw the ball low, he does throw the ball to high. Right. But if you give him time, he'll pick you apart. He's got 13 touchdowns against just 1 interception.
Yeah, Cian Sloan is the defensive player that gets a lot of attention here for American River with 9.5 sacks, 49 total tackles. Haven't said his name a lot in the first half, but I did think that at the end of that second quarter a little bit, the defensive line of the Beavers was getting a little bit more penetration, as you say, putting a little bit more pressure on Hughes.
Putting pressure on Hughes, getting him off his spot. He's not a true dual threat, 6'5", 235, but he'd rather sit in the pocket and throw. He's much more comfortable. He's made some great 3rd and 13 throws. Those 2 third down conversions were huge. They both led to touchdowns. If you think about it, as a defensive team, if you're Lou Baez, the ARC defensive coordinator, you got to get off the field on 3rd down. They did not get off the field a couple times on 3rd down and came back to bite them.
We talk about the American River College, the quarterback battle, and I think it's more of a 2-quarterback system now than it is a battle. Both of them about 6'4" or so, and you talked about both of them being a little athletic. I really think that maybe that is going to be incorporated a little bit more. We saw a couple of called quarterback runs, pretty successful there in the first half.
Both of them had predetermined quarterback draws, and they both ran it pretty well. They're both big guys, like you said, over 6'4", over 200 pounds. They're both athletic. Both throw the ball pretty well. I mean, let's face it, they had good touchdown passes, right, each one of them, finding the tight ends there. But you mentioned that right. It's not a battle. It's a system that they have, and they just go with the hot hand, the one that they're comfortable with. And in the second half, their ability to move with their legs will be huge, because you get the sense that Butte is selling out to stop the run, having a lot of man defensive coverage. So what does that mean? Things will open up for the quarterback to run down the field.
Yeah, American River College won the toss, as we talked about earlier. They deferred. They were going to get the ball here in the second half. And do you expect to see Carlisle or Kenny Leaf center? I
think they'll start Kenny Leaf, the same guy they started the game with, because why not? They had points off of turnovers. He took them right down the field. They had that 3rd and short. They came with that power look. He did the little fake quarterback throw, they got the pass interference, then he threw a beautiful throw over the corner. The bigger thing to watch with the passing game as the day goes on, it's getting windier and windier. That affects more of what you do as a quarterback rather than who's in and who's not.
I talked to Coach Osterhout yesterday, and I asked him, I said, what is it that Butte does that you have to make sure Butte doesn't do? And he immediately said the running game. So Ramsey obviously has been pretty successful, but I don't know that it's been the running game in and of itself that's really been what has done what's helped Butte the most in the first half. How do you feel that American River has done against the Butte running game?
Well, the first 2 carries they had went for negative yards. I really feel like the defensive front of American River's done a nice job of shutting down the run. It really wasn't until this last drive, which was a short drive, 36 yards, where you saw Ramsey try to hit his stride. We saw to get some push, and I really thought a lot of that was the result of the American River defense being on the field for most of the second quarter.
Well, you have the lining up here for the second half, the third quarter kickoff. We have Butte's going to kick it off from our left to our right, so they're going with the wind here in the third quarter, and American River will be going against it, so they'll get the wind in the fourth quarter. They send Freeman back to receive the punt. Also, number 1, I think,
Brendan Barthel.
Brandon Barthel, right. He is back there. So a couple of wide receivers are going to do it. Just like in the start of the game, Scott, we've got a wind-blown ball off the tee, so we're going to go ahead and hold on to that and get this second half started. 14-13 in favor of American River. We're glad you're with us watching American River College Athletics on YouTube. We're presented by the Stones Radio Network. Stones McCoy running the thing from down under a pop-up down there. He gets field-level tickets, so that's nice. Kickoff by Dante Jackson. It's going to come down at about the 4-yard line. I think that's Freeman coming up the right side. He's at 20, 25, and out to about the 29-yard line, and that's where the Beavers will put it in play to start this third quarter.
Good return, good way to start off the second half, and you got a late penalty flag coming down. You had 2 guys mixing it up pretty good around the 40-yard line. It'll be interesting to see if they call this offsetting or they call it on one of the players, but they were wrapped up with each other, and the flag came in late.
Yeah, you talked about the fact that a lot of these guys know each other from playing all through the youth ranks and all the way through high school and everything. So you thought there might be a little bit of rambunctious behavior, and this rambunctiousness is going to be a rambunctious penalty called on the Roadrunners.
That is just a critical penalty. You're going to have the ball at the 24, give your defense an opportunity. Now it's all the way out to the 39. That's a bad 15-yard penalty coming out of the I don't know what they talked about in the locker room, but that's a critical mistake.
Yeah, especially when you've got the other team going against the wind, and you're going to want to pin them down as far as you can. But first down on the 39, it is, I think, Kenny Leith out there with the running back to his right. He is in the shotgun. First down on the 39. He's going to hand it off around the left side, and good pursuit, knocking down Tariq Parker there for about a 5-yard loss by the Roadrunners.
The Roadrunners have really started to ramp up defensively and start to win the line of scrimmage battle. And right there, that was Aiden Sullivan, the linebacker from 29 Palms down in Palm Springs. He just shot the gap and slow developing run play, and they take down Tariq.
Yeah, they tried to get Parker loose on the first down, but it's a loss of about 5 yards, brings up a second down and 15 from the 34-yard line. Kenny Leith looks over to his left side. He's got Parker behind him. He's got one to the left, one to the right, split out. Standing on about a 30-yard line of the Beavers. He's got the snap. He's looking up the middle. He lets it go as a short gain. Going to get back to about the original line of scrimmage, and then the scrum takes over. And, Scott, that has become a facet of this game that we're just going to have to accept.
That time he goes to the tight end right over the middle of the field. A good little pitch and catch. The tight end's been their main receiver. This time, not their primary tight end, but they've thrown to all of them so far tonight. That time it was Ian Simpson. He caught it about the sticks, and they got pushed for about 4 more yards. Yeah,
so he got a nice little gain out of it, you're right, but sets up a third and about 7 yards to go on the 43-yard line for the Beavers. Just getting started here, third quarter, 13 and a half minutes to go in the quarter. 3rd and 6 snap, and Leith going back to pass. He's got a little bit of time, lets it go over the middle, and I think it might have been knocked down, almost intercepted, and I think he expected Simpson to keep going across the middle, and Simpson stopped.
That was a weird one because Leith had time. He was in the pocket. He stepped up well. Looked like he was going to go to Simpson. Simpson was coming from his right to his left. I think he thought he was going to just sit down in the opening by the sticks, and he threw it behind him. and he's lucky that one was not intercepted.
Absolutely, and I think maybe if he sits down right where it was thrown, it might not have been a first down, so maybe that's why Lee thought he would keep going. So here's Basirovich out for another punt. His last one went about 50 yards in the same direction in the second quarter, so let's see if he can get a foot in. He's got a receiver on the 10-yard line, a little bit short. He's going to come up and it's going to hit at the 25 and go toward the goal line all the way inside the 20, rolls down inside the 15 to the 14-yard line, so ultimately Scott, a pretty good punt.
Second fantastic kick in a row. You know, sometimes you were talking about the 3-iron. Sometimes you just got to hit a low iron into the wind and take it down there. Don't let the wind play with it. And so that's a great job. But one thing, if you're American River, you got a little bit worried about offensively. They now have had 3 of their last 4 possessions. They've had to punt. They need to give their defense the ability to get off the field. So the defense right here needs to make a stop.
So not even 2 minutes of possession there to start the third quarter for the Beavers. 13:09 to go in this third quarter. Here comes Tanner Hughes and the Butte College Roadrunners. They are trailing 14-13. Running back at his left, Tanner Hughes. He's going to throw the ball to the left side. Quickly to the tight end, cutting back in the middle. And that is going to be a David. I think it might have been Troy Davis. No, it's Jalen Hammer out there. And we've got an injury. It looks like it might be Hughes hobbling in the backfield. So we'll have a timeout. I think that was Jalen Hammer cutting across in that slant face, Scott, that you like so much.
Well, they did that little motion again. They had 3 receivers out there to block it. They threw the quick throw out to Hammer. He picked up 5, but I think it's going to be a block in the back against the Roadrunners. Nonetheless, their quarterback took quite a shot.
Yeah, he did. He was up limping, and didn't see the penalty, but you're right. It is a block in the back when you have a guy coming against the grain. That seems to happen. So big play, big opportunity right now for American River College. You talked about the defense on the field all the time. They have a chance to pin the Roadrunners down here after the penalty on first down.
It'll be first down and more than 15, and for Tanner Hughes, who just took quite a blow, you got to think they're going to start running the ball or something real quick.
Reps here to his right. He's going to get the ball about the 2-yard line. He's going to give it on a sweep here by the wide receiver, and he goes down at about the 10, and looked like he was kind of cutting out. And we've got a Matulichin defender out here all the way about 5 yards into the out-of-bounds area right there.
Went into the kicking net going after each other. I mean, oh, man, all the pink. It's funny because all the coaches are wearing pink for breast cancer awareness, and all the pink guys are over there breaking up the fight. That was interesting. Nonetheless, Troy Davis takes it on the jet sweep, picks up about a yard or 2. Good job on pursuit that time by the Beavers.
Yes, second down now, and 13 yards to go. Hughes on about the 5-yard line. There's motion by the tight end across the formation. Hughes is going to throw out to the left side. It's too low, and it's dropped out there by his tight end. It'll bring up third down.
They're going to say Zach Woodall dropped this, but this ball was thrown at his feet. I mean, he faked it to the running back. He had a defender right in his face, and that's one of those where you got to put a little touch on it, give him the chance to catch it. He threw it at his feet. Really, that one's on Hughes, and you got to think the hit he got 2 plays ago is in the back of his head.
Yeah, and I've noticed. You would know better, but it seems like they like to put people in motion and throw the person in motion the ball. It seems like that's something they do a lot.
Well, it creates automatic space, Phantom. 5 to 7 yards if you're in motion. You can't run along the line of scrimmage with them.
14-13. We are third down now, 13 yards to go. Big play, another big third down for the Beaver defense. Hughes looking to the right side. He's going to send it over the middle, and it's knocked out of the way, and now a penalty. We had a late hit on the receiver by a Beavers defender after the ball was knocked down. It was going to be fourth down, but it might be a first down now for the Roadrunners.
Just a sloppy play, talking about getting off the field on third down. We're going to see the refs call. This will be a late hit, unnecessary after the play's over on the Beavers.
Yeah, they had it. There was 2 guys defending the play, and the third guy was standing right there. And actually, they're going to call holding on the Beavers. So we don't know if that was before the play was thrown. Maybe it was on one of the defenders, but it is a holding call. It will be a first down, and it'll give the Roadrunners possession on about the 21-yard line.
The way holding works means the ball wasn't in the air yet, so they did have him double covered, but they said he was held before that. Not a late hit at all. Nonetheless, they do not get off the field on third down.
They do not get off the field with a penalty, and there goes another tight end in motion. Handoff to Messier up the middle. Well shut down by the Beavers. The defensive line, they're overworked, but they're working hard, and they knock them down for no gain.
Great job of getting some penetration on the running plays. That's the best way to slow down a running attack, and a good job there by Michael Sullivan from Sheldon, getting in some penetration on the defensive line. And what ARC is doing so well, Phantom, is getting pressure and penetration just with that front four.
Yeah, Michael Sullivan's been a standout all season long for the Beavers. And so it's a second down. It's going to be 8 yards to go. Ball on about the 23-yard line. Under center now for Tanner Hughes. He's got 2 backs behind him. Takes his time, hands it off to the second man going around the left side, Ramseer, but it's well defended by the Beavers, and he's going to be stopped. No gain. He might have lost a couple.
Great job. That's Kai Wallen from Jesuit, who's already got an offer from Nebraska and Washington State, and you could see why. He's tall, he's lengthy. He was a great player in high school. He played tight end. He was a two-way starter, was just an absolute demon at getting after the quarterback, and right there just pushes the right tackle out of the way and makes a stop.
So what we have now, Scott, is another one of those third downs that we've been talking about so much. Third down this time, and let's call it 9 yards to go. So trying to get that defense off the field, and we've got trips out here to the right side, and Davis looks like going back over to the left side, just split out that way. Hughes ready to go. He's going to look to that left side, fake it, go back to the right side. He's got a completion out here against the grain, and it's going to be just a little short, I believe, with the first down. A good run by Butte, and we'll see where the ball is marked. This is a critical mark here at about the 32-yard line.
They're actually going to give it to him on the mark, but let's see what the penalty flag is. I thought I saw a flag come flying in late. Maybe. No, let's see. Sideline warning.
No, sideline warning. So we've got a first down, and that play looked like it was going to be shut down as they came over to the right side where the 3 receivers were, but a good cutback by the receiver to get just enough for that first down here and set up a first down on the 32-yard line, 11 minutes to go third quarter.
Second, third down, and long, they've converted.
Yeah. In the shotgun, Tanner Hughes. He's going to hand that one off to Ramseer. Comes on the right side. Nice play in there, and he's knocked down for a gain of about 2 yards. It'll set up a 2nd and 8.
Great tackle, a little bit of pushing and shoving after the play, but on first and second down, they're not having much of trouble.
No.
But it's getting off the field. That time was Donovan Laban from his linebacker spot, made a nice tackle, pickup of only 3, but 3rd and 10, 3rd and 13, that's exactly what the defensive coordinator wants. You got to get off the field, one of which they run a wide receiver screen to get it. The one before they got off because of a penalty. Yeah,
Laban there has been one of the standouts all season again for the Beavers defense from his linebacker spot. Second down now and 7 to go, 34-yard line of the Beavers. Hughes is in the shotgun. He's got Ramseer behind him. He's going to go ahead and throw that one quickly. Now he brings it down under pressure, and he is down at about the 34-yard line. So a good play in there by someone who's very happy and very pleased with himself.
Absolutely. Great job defensively.
It's our guy number 93.
Absolutely. What happened there? The ref's going to talk to us again. Let's see.
Face mask on the Beavers. So not a play we were initially excited about, but we've got a face mask on the Beavers, and the Beavers seem to be taking the short end of the penalty stick so far in this one. A couple have been critical to getting the Roadrunners up to now the 50-yard line, Scott. Well, they'll start this one 1st and 10.
Well, Tanner Hughes was just trying to hit Troy Davis on a quick hitch, but I'll tell you what, Jaden Alexander was right there with him, so he had to pull it down. He would have lost yardage, but unfortunately for the Beavers, they got their hand up around the face mask. Remember where this drive started and where it is right now.
And benefited by a couple of penalties or it wouldn't be there. So first down, 9:55 to go third quarter. American River 14, Butte College 13. Hughes in the shotgun, standing at about the 45. He's going to throw this one down the middle. He lets it fly down the left sideline, and it's going to be overthrown, the wide receiver and the defensive back, but that ball was about 5 yards too far.
Throwing with the wind, and it looks like he got caught up in the jet stream there. He was going to Jalen Hammer. I tell you, the coverage was fantastic. The defensive back had a better shot of getting that one. First down, just trying to take a shot, trying to loosen up the defensive backs. Yeah,
but you're right, I think, Scott, as far as that, you worry about going into the wind, but that time I think that one took that ball. I don't know if he put a little more touch out or just let it go, but it looked like he was throwing it from his back foot back here as there was some more penetration from the Beavers' defensive line. So it sets up a 2nd and 10 now. Ball right on the 50-yard line, right hash mark. Tanner Hughes is in the shotgun. He's got running back to his right, and he's got a guy in motion. He's going to hand that ball up to the running back to his right. He gets through the first one, but a nice tackle, and it's going to be down for a gain of about 3. That's number 30, I think, for the Beavers making that play.
Well, good job of just getting off blocks that time. It looked like the way they set up the play that it looked like Ramsey was going to have a good little hole and opening, but nonetheless they just push off the offensive lineman and make a nice tackle. But here we are again in a 3rd and long, Phantom, and so far they've had 2 of these. They've not been able to get off the field.
Yeah, Lucas Arturio was number 30 who made that hit, so it is 3rd down and 7 to go. Scott says this has been the bane of the existence for the Beavers defense. Tight end in motion, that's Cooper. He's coming back to the right. There goes Hughes. He's looking. He's got pressure from behind. He's going to go down. That is a sack for the Beavers, and that's a huge play by the American River defense.
Sloan just flat out beating the left tackle, did a great job. And I'm telling you, they get pressure with that front 4. Hughes had absolutely no chance to get rid of it. He took his 5-step drop, stepped up, and they were right in on him. So they do get off the field finally. It took 3 chances on 3rd down. Nonetheless, they've changed the field position complexion, but ARC is going to get the ball back.
Yeah, Sloan showing why he had 9 sacks. Now we make that 10.5 sacks. We're seeing Sloan. He was coming in from his defensive end position. Here's Jackson. His kick, that one is knocked down a little bit. Freeman's going to get it on about the 7. He's fed right away, and he put the ball on the ground, and it is covered by Butte College. So Freeman tried to get that. He was hit immediately and coughed it up, and that is a huge play in this game. The Roadrunners have it 1st and goal from the 7.
Unbelievable. Freeman, who's been so good. That's one where you just have to fair catch it at the 10-yard line. He doesn't fair catch it. We do have a penalty flag back here.
Oh, right here about the 42-yard line.
Where the kick went off. We'll see what this is, if they ran into the kicker or not. Nonetheless, they'll decline it.
Yeah, that doesn't matter really as far as that. I think the ball was kicked from a little bit behind there. But let's see. Going to come back and pick that up. So another penalty on the play. We've had a lot of them so far here in this 3rd quarter. And so it's a personal foul on the Beavers, and that will be declined by Butte College, and they'll go ahead and have 1st down on the 7. So it might have been a situation where, I don't know when the personal foul was, it might have been giving them the 1st down already on that personal foul if it was before the kick. But it's going to be a 1st down for the Roadrunners now. 8:14 to go, and they are in prime position to take the lead in this game.
Well, that's a critical turnover, and we saw the way the game started. American River got points off turnovers. Now you have an opportunity to Butte to get ahead.
Here we go. Hughes is in there. He's got 2 backs next to him in the shotgun. He's going to hand that one off to the first back, going down right away. That is Caleb Ramsey. And just about a yard gain. Good defensive play by the Beavers. And I'll tell you, Scott, that Beaver defensive line, I think that was Sloan again, really looks like they are really amped up.
I mean, you can't put a lot of this on the defense. They have been on the field for really what seems like most of the 2nd quarter, now almost the entire 3rd quarter, and their offense doesn't help them out. Their special teams doesn't help them out. Let's see if they can make a stop here and just keep this maybe to a field goal.
Hughes in the shotgun, 2nd down from the 6. He's got 1 back behind him. Cooper goes in motion across the formation. The pitch out to Ramsey. He cuts it back up. He is hit about the 4 and falls ahead to the 3 or the 2-yard line. It'll set up a 3rd and goal for the Roadrunners.
Ramsey does a good job of finishing the run, but Josh Tremaine, the linebacker, does a great job there. So they run the ball in their first 2 plays, pick up 3 yards. So now we got 3rd and goal at the 2. Remember the last time they kicked in this direction, it hit the upright. So be curious to see what Butte tries to do.
I would not be surprised to see Tanner Hughes taking himself. Remember, he has 5 touchdowns on the ground this year. In addition to the 12 he came in through the air when he entered this game. So he is going to come in under center now with 2 backs behind him. From the 2-yard line, he's going straight ahead. He punches his way. I don't know that he got it. Let's see. No signal yet coming from either side. The referees come through, and they is not going to get it. It's going to set up a 4th down, and it can't be more than about the half-yard line.
It'll be 4th and short, and a flag just went again. This might be a personal foul. We'll see what happens. Nonetheless, they ran what we're going to call the tank play, which is just your big 6'5", 235 quarterback. They shove him down to about the 1-yard line. It'll be 4th and goal, but we'll see what the penalty is.
Yeah, maybe that somebody thought they scored on that one and was making their displeasure known, but we'll see. Obviously, if it's on the Beavers, they're not going to get too many yards out of it, but that would continue that trend of big Beaver penalties. So waiting for the signal from the referee. Nobody is moving, so we don't think it's on. It's a dead ball foul, unsportsmanlike against the Beavers. So that'll be a 1st down then. From the 1 year. So we were going to have a 4th down, Scott, from about the half-yard line, and now it's a 1st down.
So they can't get off the field on third down. It would have been 4th and goal. Would have been interesting, kind of the immovable objects against the irresistible force, but now they're going to have 4 plays to do it.
Yeah, definitely would have been the scrum play, I think. So right now I think it'll probably be the scrum play anyway, and I think maybe Beavers defenders are short-tempered being out there so long. Here's the snap, and he's going to go through, and he's going to get pushed through, I think, and that should, I think, be a touchdown. And it is a touchdown for Butte College. So Hughes took it ahead. He was pushed from behind, made it all the way into, and that is a very disappointing touchdown, a disappointing score in more ways than one for the Beavers.
Short drive. Their defense gets off the field. They fumble the punt return. They get the ball from the 6-yard line. It takes them 4 plays to go in, and the defensive line actually had it stopped on the initial surge. It was the second surge and the running backs pushing him forward. So now they're going to try to chase those points. They missed 1 extra point. Lead at 19-14. They will go for 2.
There we go. They'll go for 2. Jackson hit the left upright his last time. So going for 2 with Hughes in the shotgun. He's got running backs to each side and 1 behind him. And now the 1 to each side are going to flank out. So he's just got the single running back in motion across the formation. He's going to throw for it. He goes back. He's looking. He doesn't find anybody right away. He's pressured. The throw is going to be on the ground. I don't think it is complete, and that is going to be a no-good try for a 2-point conversion, which will leave the score 19-14 in favor of Butte with 6:18 to go here in the third quarter.
If Hughes has a shortcoming, it's when he gets under duress, he throws the ball at his receiver's feet. And in that situation, actually has a play action to the right, rolls left. He has 1 receiver in the route, Jalen Hammer. You have to know the situation. Throw it to Hammer up high in the corner. If he makes a play, great. If not, it's just incomplete.
Right.
In that case, you throw it at his feet and short. There's nothing he can do about it.
Okay, so now American River College coming up to receive the kick, and now Scott, they're playing from behind. So they've been ahead for a long time. How is playing from behind going to be different for their psyche, you think?
Well, they just need to calm down. I mean, the 15-yard penalties, the mistakes on special teams, they need to get some first downs. They need to get some momentum. They really controlled the first quarter, but from the second and third quarter on, their offense has seemed to be a little bit out of sorts. They have not picked up the first downs they've needed to, and they've really been hit by the penalty bug.
Yeah, and they haven't had, like you were saying, they've played 2 really good downs on defense, and that third down has been tough for them, and they just overcame that and then gave it right back. So here's Jackson's kickoff. It's going to go into the end zone. It'll be a touchback first down for American River College, and we'll see who they send out there at quarterback. If it's Kenny Leith, and that's who it is, number 8, getting out of Rockland, California. So he is going to be given the task now of trying to lead the Beavers from behind with 6:18 to go in the third quarter, and American River trailing this one 19-14. Mark the Phantom here with Scott Gordon. A great job filling in for Jordan Georgeson, who, as we said, is on assignment at his cousin's wedding. And he's going to be reporting back on that for us at the next game, so no problem there. So Leith in the shotgun, looks like Tariq Parker to his right. He's got 2 receivers out to the right in the shotgun formation, and he spaked the handoff. He throws it quickly across, and I think it's low, but I thought the catch was made. Let's see. No, he's going to be ruled an incompletion, so it'll set up second down.
If he could hit him in stride, they were in man coverage, he could be running the whole way. Freeman is wide open there. That ball is just thrown too low for him to make the catch, and it probably could have caught it. He would have been stopped right there because it was low, but nonetheless, a low throw leads to an incompletion.
Yeah, and you hate to have that when you haven't really thrown the ball that much. When you do get somebody open, you want to go ahead and hit him and take a little pressure off yourself, and now you're looking at 2nd and 10.
It was a great play call, a little play action right over the middle.
So here's Leith in the shotgun formation. We are at the 25-yard line, 2nd and 10, 6:13 to go in the quarter. He is going to hand that one off to Parker, who goes left side. He's got a little bit of room closed down. He stays in bounds and is knocked out. I believe if they give it to the 37, they will. Tariq Parker's got a 12-yard gain and a first down.
Parker did a good job of finding the edge and then tiptoeing down the sidelines. It looked like he was going to go out of bounds about the 35, but he just went north and south and went all the way up to the 37, and that first down does a lot for the defense, does a lot for ARC's confidence.
Yeah, 2nd or 3rd time that Tariq Parker has done that on the ground for the Beavers, and you're right, it does give them a little bit of breath there as Kenny Leith in the shotgun. He's got Parker to his right, first down on the 37. He's going to throw this one all the way. It's a close, short pass, and it's complete on a kind of a curl in, and it's going to be about a 6-yard gain for the Beavers. That'll set up a 2nd and 4 from about the 43-yard line.
Grayson Barnes, they've been looking for him, trying to get him, and I would not be surprised. Ryan Gomes, the offensive coordinator, you've got to go to your go-to guys when you need to.
Okay, 2nd down now and 4 yards to go. Got to get to the 47-yard line. Parker to the right, the handoff to Parker. He cuts it across, go up the middle. He's got a little bit of room. He's going to get over the 50 and down to the 47. So another good run by Tariq Parker. That's a first down for the American River College Beavers.
Probably one of the best runs I've seen tonight. This play is designed to go outside. He just cuts it back in, and now they go tempo.
A little tempo here, and they're going to catch Butte off the field. There should be a penalty, and it is. And Parker busts it up again. He's got another 9 yards, maybe 10, and there's going to be a penalty because Butte had a lineman still on the field trying to get off, but he didn't make it.
The old Aaron Rodgers play. Try to run something quick while they got 12 people, so they're going to give them 5 yards. They'll take the 1st and 5, but let's see. The refs are going to talk about it, but nonetheless, that's what they did.
Well, let's see if they go ahead 1st and 5, or if they go ahead and they want to take the Tariq Parker 9-yard run. He's at the 41. They've got to get to the 42, so maybe they go, we'll take a 2nd and 1. We'll see what the Beavers decide to do as Casey Riley comes into the game, which indicates maybe they're going to go with the they're going to go ahead and take the 5 yards, or else the referee just decided to pick the ball up. I don't know what he's going to do. Oh, no, it's on the Beavers.
Oh, they actually called a legal substitution because they put a player in and didn't allow the other team
a chance to substitute.
Yes.
Okay, there you go. Our bad. So we thought it was a genius play, and it turned out not to be such a genius play. And it'll set up a 2nd down now.
Nonetheless, they've got Parker in a rhythm here, Phantom. Excuse me.
He really is. So are we going with offsetting penalties in this situation? So we're back to a 1st and 10, which is interesting that there were 2 substitution penalties. But anyway, there's Ian Simpson splitting way out to the right side, the tight end. Grayson Barnes on the left. And Kenny Leith is looking to throw. He's going to go across the middle, and he's got it, but off the hands of Grayson Barnes. A good defensive play by number 28 of Butte. And that is Cameron Carr out of Gridley, California. So Cameron Carr makes the play. 2nd down and 10 coming up. A slant play that you like so much, Scott, just off the fingers of the receiver.
Well, I like, too, that they had max protection. They only had 1 back there. They had 2 tight ends. They only had 1 receiver in the route on the right side, and they brought Barnes over there. But a great job defensively by Carr of just draping all over him. Great stop. Knocked it away. It was a good throw. Just couldn't make the play.
Yeah, Kenny Lee does kind of stare down his receiver, though. I think if he looks off somebody, I think he'd have that 2nd receiver open. But you're right, he had good protection. He's going to hand that one off to Parker. Going left side, he's got a little more defensive pressure, and he's going to get maybe a yard on the play. It's just going to sit down. So Grant Garrettson with the tackle there for the Roadrunners. Garrettson, one of the top tacklers on the team, sets up a 3rd down, Scott.
Grant Garrettson does a good job of shedding his block, coming up, making the tackle on Parker. Parker so far on this drive has gotten 9-yard carries, 10-yard carries. That time he doesn't get anything. It'll be a 3rd and 10. Now the question will be, ARC has not been able to get off the field defensively on 3rd down. Can they convert this critical 3rd down?
Yeah, and if we're going by past plays, we're going to look at something over the middle, maybe to a Grayson Barnes or a Barthel. 3rd down, and there is Leith. He's back. He looks, and now he's going to go to the right side. He's got somebody open to the 1st down, and the completion is made. He is knocked backwards. The ball is now on the ground, but I thought he was already down, and I also thought he had forward progress that would have given him the 1st down.
They're giving him the 1st down. That's Brandon Barthel. That was a really good route, and you mentioned sometimes that Leith needs to look off his receivers. He looked left. He came back and threw the curl route. Now they're going tempo again.
Yeah, that didn't work out so well for anybody the last time they did it. And handoff to Parker. Going down the right side, and he is stopped. He will be dropped for no gain by a half dozen of the Butte College Roadrunners.
Yeah, there's just so much physicality after the play. You see people who aren't even involved in the tackle being grabbed and thrown in different places. It looks like a mosh pit sometimes.
Casey Riley comes in for Tariq Parker. His last 2 runs haven't been as successful as the 3 or 4 previous to that. 2nd down, and I think that you want to mention again that pass to Barthel was exactly what we were thinking that Kenny Leith needed to do, and he hit Barthel perfectly right on the money. And Barthel, to his credit, went out for as many yards as he needed for the 1st down. So 2nd down now. Casey Riley, the big back out of Oroville, is behind Kenny Leith. A little bit shorter on the shotgun. He is going to throw. He's looking down the middle. Now he's going to run. He gets away from 1, gets away from 2. He's going to be gang tagged. Now he's still going, but still going to be dropped basically for no gain.
It looked like he was going to get away, and unfortunately his running back was kept in for protection, was Casey Riley. He almost ran into the back of him. If he doesn't run into Riley, I think he picks up 5 or 6 yards. Nonetheless, now it's 3rd and 11 regardless here, ARC's been able to change the field position complexion and give their defense a little bit of a break, but you love to see them convert this.
Exactly. I mean, that was really good when it was 14-13, but now it's 19-14, and they need to put some points on the board. So they're looking at a third down. We're at about the 37, 38-yard line of the Roadrunners. Leith is in the shotgun. There's the snap. He's going to go straight back. He's got time. He throws a slant, and it's complete at about the 25, and that would give them another first down. And again, that's Brandon Barthel, and we're going to call him the slant pretty soon because that's what he does, and he's pretty successful at it.
They're going to go quick again, but that time Barthel's the outside receiver. They've been throwing it to the inside slot receiver, and so they run double slants. Safeties are deep. They hit Barthel, picks up the first down. Good throw, good catch.
And they were going to go quick, but they have to leave time for everybody to substitute, and by the time they do that, there's 20 seconds off the play clock, and they are looking to the sidelines to get the play. Another big play by Kenny Leith, a good throw in Barthel with a fine catch. First down now at the 25, 1:28 to go, third quarter. Beavers trailed by 5. The handoff is going to be to Riley down the right side. He's just going to cut it in and bowl over a guy and get down to right around the 20-yard line to set up a 2nd and 5.
That's a play that Coach Osterhout's going to love. You know why? He's an offensive lineman. He spent some time in Nebraska at Sacramento State. They turn, they give it to the big back. Nobody even made contact with him until he was 4 yards down the field. Good job by the offensive line. Phantom, what you're seeing, the pass opening up the run a little bit because they're throwing it so well. 2 big third down conversions.
Second down now, 5 yards to go from right around the 21-yard line. Leith is in the shotgun. He's got Parker to his left now. Riley came off the field. He's going to hand it off to Parker. Going up the left side, he's got a little opening. He's down to the 15, and he's going to be very close to getting that first down. He was at the 15, and then a good defensive play by the Roadrunners stopped him from going any further. We'll see where it's marked. They might just be about a yard short to set up a 3rd and 1, and here comes Riley.
You mentioned it. He broke a tackle at the 20, or else it would be a 3rd and 6. He got an additional 5 yards, so now it's 3rd and 1. And really, as we know from this game already, ARC's got a lot of plays for 3rd and short.
They do, and let's see. They're in that power formation with Riley behind him. 13 seconds to go in the quarter. This probably will be the last play, and then Leith is going to go straight ahead, and I think he's got it, and he's got the scrum play comes into play again, and they're still moving around, and like you're saying, a lot of extracurriculars after the scrum is over.
I mean, the scrum's in the middle of the field, but there's people on the offsides.
Yeah.
They're just kind of run up and hitting each other. It's the scrum play. I've seen more scrum plays in this third quarter in this game than I've seen probably in entire seasons.
I think we're going to adopt your terminology. I'm calling it the mosh pit from now on because that's exactly what it represents. You know, when I go to my Slayer concerts and stuff, that's exactly what we do. That's the end of the third quarter. The Beavers do get the first down. We are going to be back in just a second. Right now, the score, Butte College 19, American River College 14. You're watching American River College Athletics on YouTube, presented by the Stones Radio Networks.
American River College is a top-tier community college sports program that provides student athletes with the opportunity to thrive both athletically and academically. ARC Athletics is currently ranked 5th in the state and 2nd in Northern California. With over 19 sports programs, our athletes compete with the region's best athletes. Our diverse, dedicated coaching staff helps athletes develop the skills necessary to compete at the next level. Start your community college athletics journey today. American River College, the second best athletic program.
Hit a couple scores. Yeah, it's fine.
You're listening to coverage of ARC Athletics on Stones Radio Networks.
Welcome back to Beaver Stadium. The start of the fourth quarter. Mark the Phantom Low here with Scott Gordon, and the Beavers trailing this one 19-14, but they are on the move. They have a first down at the 15-yard line. Kenny Leith, the quarterback, he's got, see who's behind him. He's had several different backs behind him today, so he's going to hand it off. No, he's going to hold on to it. He throws it into the corner. He's got a receiver open, and that is a touchdown. I believe that's Ian Simpson over there. It is Ian Simpson for the second time, and a fine fake by Kenny Leith, and he hits Simpson on a wide open play, Scott.
Great play action play on first down. They drew it up in between the quarters, play action that time, and they leaked Simpson out. They knew they were in man coverage down in a goal line situation. And it looks like now with the score being just one, they'll go for two to try to make it a 3-point lead.
Yeah, for me, it's a little bit early to do that, but I see the point here with the 20-19 lead, but still 14:55 left to go in this game. And let's not take away from that Leith put that ball right where he needed to put it, and Simpson working his way open in that left corner of the end zone. So Leith now, a 2-point conversion try for the Beavers. They lead it 20-19. Leith gets it. He looks. He's going to go to the air. He throws a slant, and it is knocked down by the Butte College defender, and it is no good on the 2-point try. And so with 14:55 to go in this ball game, American River back on top. They lead this one 20-19.
Trying to go to Ramsey. He had 3 receivers to the right, the running back to the right, and that time just trying to go on a one-on-one slant route to the short side of the field, which is interesting because you don't have as much room, and went right into the linebacker and the safety and was almost intercepted. If that is intercepted and brought back, that would have given Butte 2 points and put them in front. Nonetheless, in that situation, great throw for the touchdown. On the 2-point conversion, he did stare the receiver down the whole time.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Like you say, I don't know how many. He didn't have as many options. I would have liked to, the way they've been moving the ball, maybe you get a Tariq Parker back in there. Maybe you try to, squeeze him through the line or something. But it doesn't matter. They have the big touchdown play to Simpson. He has been huge today. Usually the tight end is Grayson Barnes, but Simpson has been the one that really has come up with the big plays. But now you've got the wind on your side for this fourth quarter if you're American River College. So I think the first way to take advantage of that is put this one in the end zone and make them start from the 25.
That was the first time we've really seen the Beaver offense come to life since the first quarter. It gave the defense a long break to look at a lot of tape, and so now the onus is put back on the Roadrunners. What can they do offensively? And Phantom, doesn't surprise you at all. It's a close game in the fourth quarter.
No, it surprised me. Also, it surprised me that you just like to watch tape. That's all you talk about is watching tape, and I like that.
It's not even tape anymore. It's a screen. It's on an iPad.
Yeah, it's not even tape. Here's Schreiner. Kicking it. That's going to be a little shorter than the end zone. Picked up at about the 5-yard line by Butte, working right up the middle of the field, cutting it back now, and he's going to get a good return out toward the 30, 35, out maybe right around the 34-yard line. That's Jalen Hammer, who's he hasn't really done that much from the receiver spot, but he's done well on returns today, Scott.
Well, that's a great job of getting good field position when you have against the wind that time. They're going to get the ball at the 35-yard line, a great starting position. Usually when you're kicking that direction, you have the capacity to get a touchback.
Marked actually at the 31, so he must have went out of bounds. And, we've talked about the American River defense a lot. They've come up with some really big plays lately. A couple of fumble recoveries that weren't fumble recoveries, but they're going to need to come up with 1 or 2 more in this one if their team's going to get the W. So here's Hughes. He's going to hand that ball off to Ramsier, who goes on the right side. He's got a hole, and he's going to scrum his way out past the 40-yard line all the way close to the 45, and then it's going to be marked actually at the 48-yard line, it looks like. So a big first down play by the Roadrunners.
A play we're seeing more and more of. 2 receivers set left, run it into the short side of the field. Ramsier does a great job. He got really low. He ran really hard. He got right behind his offensive line and brought it all the way out. It looks like the 48-yard line.
Yeah, first play is a big play for the Roadrunners. So they are at first down at the 48. Got 2 receivers out to left, 1 to right, 2 backs in the backfield with Tanner Hughes. The big right-handed quarterback from Pleasant Valley. He's going to throw it. So it'll be a short one over the left side, and it's dropped by the running back number 22. That is Jeremy Stubbs out there. Haven't seen Jeremy a little bit too much, but he does have some receptions out of the backfield this season for Butte. But that one went off his fingertips as they were setting something over to the left side.
Hughes is going to want that one back, because if he takes a little bit off of it and gives Stubbs the ability to get the ball downfield, they did have some blocks set up. Nonetheless, brings up a second down.
Second down at the 48-yard line. Hughes with 1 running back. Ramsier behind him. He's got 2 receivers out to the left. Looks like it might be some sort of zone over here as they're not really getting him. Handoff to Ramsier up the middle. Nice play. He's got down from behind. I think that might have been Cian Sloan, and he's going to get him for about a 2-yard gain.
It was Cian Sloan. Nice job of reading from his position on the defensive line. His guard left, so he left the vacated area and took down Ramsier when it looked like he was going to have a big run down the right side.
So what do we got now, Scott? We've got what you love, the third down. It's 3rd down and 9 this time. So an incomplete pass and then just a 1-yard run. The Beavers defense coming up with at least 2 good plays in every series, but now they've got to make it 3. This would be huge to knock them down right here. Hughes in the shotgun, standing at about his own 44, 45-yard line. He's got running back to his left. He's got motion coming from the right. Fakes it to the motion man. He's going to throw it down the left side. He's got a guy. We're going to have a penalty, though, as number 1, Jalen Hammer, was going the line. He was probably, I'm going to guess he was held on the right side. That flag coming out as the ball flew about 20 yards past him.
They tried to double move, a little hook and go, and I think they caught the defensive back, Dom Spence, who knocked the ball loose earlier, and I think they might get a defensive hold, which unfortunately will convert at third down again for Butte.
And that time it was, you're right, they had the numbers. They had 2-on-1 and Hammer going down that sideline, but they just impeded his progress. It's a holding call, a 10-yard penalty. Now it'll be first down on the 41 of the Beavers for the Butte College Roadrunners. And again, Scott, as you've said so many times, a very prescient, that third down, third and long especially, has been really a bane for the Beavers today. And here is Hughes in the shotgun. Running back Ramseer on his right side. He's got split receivers to the left side. Now he's got motion across the formation. He's going to hand it to Ramseer, who goes up the middle and is retired after about a 3-yard gain. Good job by the defense of the Beavers to set up 2nd and 7. Levengood
did a good job of making the stop there, but I tell you, Ramseer, just to get 2 yards on that with the amount of penetration that ARC, the Beavers, got defensively. And again, the defense is going to need to pick up the offense here. They've got to get off the field on 2nd and 3rd and long situations. We've seen it too much here. If there's one bane, it's they've not been able to get off the field on 3rd down.
Yeah, Coach Osterhout, very complimentary about Caleb Ramseer when I talked to him on yesterday. 2nd and 7 now from the 38-yard line. A pitch out to Ramseer, left side. It's turned in. He's going to get down to about the 38-yard line or 37-yard line, but a good job by Dom Spence and others on the American River defense.
You know, the defense came up and just laid the hammer to them. They were trying to sweep, and in order for a sweep to work, you've got to take the edge. You have to set the edge. They were never able to set the edge. That allowed the defensive back to come up and lay a pop, and here we are again. 3rd and 7, Phantom.
Yes, Dobby, if you've heard it before, 3rd and medium long here, probably about 6 yards, maybe 7 yards. And Beavers defense, who've been on the ropes much of this second, as you said, 2nd, 3rd, and now into the 4th quarter, looking for one big stop here. We'll see if Hughes tries to go to Hammer again. He's been looking for him in these tough situations. He's also got Ramseer by him in the back. He's going to throw it, throws it across the middle. It's a slant, and I think the ball is incomplete. Either that or it's fumbled and picked up by the Beavers, but it's going to be called incomplete. And as you pointed out many times, Scott, under pressure, that ball's a little too low.
Well, I'll tell you what happened that time. Great job by Lou Baez, the defensive coordinator. He brought the strong side linebacker on a blitz, and the area that he vacated was wide open. If Hughes can stand there and deliver the ball, there's no doubt that's going to be a first down. Instead, he throws it low. Good defensive scheme, and it looks like they're going to keep their offense on the field. Why not? It's at the 37.
Right, they're at the 37, so a 3rd down, we said you got to stop them on 3rd down. They do, but this time they said, okay, now you got to stop us on 4th down as well. 4th down on the 37, got to get to the 31, so that makes it 6 yards. Hughes in the backfield in the shotgun. He's going to get that one, go back to pass. He's going to go over to the right side. Good defense by the Beavers. Did he get that one? They're indicating that he did. I don't know that he got the first down, even if he did. The Beavers were all over that one. Let's see what the call is, Scott.
Peyton Henderson is over there defensively, what they might call a simultaneous possession, but it matters what the spot is. Even if they say they caught it together, then it comes up short, and it looks like it's going to be ARC ball.
Well, the Beavers sure think it is, but they thought they had fumbles earlier, so I'm waiting, reserving judgment from this officiating crew. And Coach Osterhout, I don't think he would take a bad call very lightly right now. And it is going to be short, and it will be the possession of the Beavers. So Beavers take over on the 32-yard line. So even if it was complete, they were a yard short on that one.
Interesting play call to throw to the wide side of the field. You needed 7 yards. You had to throw the ball about 35 yards. Ends up being simultaneous possession, which goes to the offense. Nonetheless, it's short, and now we have our chance to see Matt Carlisle in the game at quarterback.
So Carlisle back. Remember, in the first half, his first play was a pass overthrown, and then he had a run with about 20 yards. So let's see what he does. He's in the shotgun. He's going to hand it off to Parker. Cuts back up the middle, and up ball's on the ground, and I think it's picked up. Now it's on the ground again, and the Roadrunners look like they've got it. They're signaling that they do. It's at the 37-yard line, and then there's a penalty. There's about 5 penalty flags that fly through, but another play by the Beavers as they got a good defensive stand, and they fumble on the first play. And let's see what the thing is, and it's signaling. Well, that's Butte College signaling. So
and the ref is signaling
is
too.
Jumping in there too. So the ball on the turf and picked up, and let's see what the penalties are.
But look who comes out with it, Grayson
Well,
Barnes.
of course, that's right.
Yes.
Well, that's what happened in the first half. They came out with the ball all the time, and it was signaled for Butte. And now the signal has been turned around, I guess, as there's so many people. It's like you're asking for directions in a small town. Everybody's pointing a different way. And I think it's going to be American River College ball. But, again, we've got to deal with 6 or 7 or 8. It was a Flag Day celebration out there, so we'll see how that plays itself out.
If you had a flag in your pocket, even a handkerchief, you just threw it.
There were people in the stands just throwing their handkerchiefs because everybody carries them now. You know that.
Some guy took his wife's purse and just chucked it on the field.
Just threw the purse out there, and it's got, well, there's some stuff in there we don't want to talk about.
No.
But they're still talking about it. And, again, we think possession is still with the Beavers, and we're now adjudicating the dozens of flags that came out after another interminable scrum that we seem to have many of in this ball game.
Well, the ball was knocked loose for the fumble, and it looked like Butte was going to get it. Then it was kicked forward.
Right.
They jumped on it. Looked like Butte had it. Looked like it was wrestled away by ARC. So if they're offsetting penalties and they're dead ball, it'll be a net 5-yard gain. Now they're going to go to both coaches. We'll see which one gets more animated. We'll find out happens.
Well, Usher, as we talked about earlier, was not happy in the first half, and then he was the phantom fumbles down there, no pun intended, by the goal line. He wasn't happy about that. So let's see how it's working. And
well, the conversation on this sideline is going a lot calmer. What do you want to do? And the penalty. Yeah.
Looks like a little benign over here. Yeah, a little bit more. So it looks like it is, like you said, it's got the offsetting, or else they said, hey, bygones be bygones penalty. That happens a lot. So it is second down. It looks like it'll be about 5 yards to go, maybe 6. So, they look like the Butte had that one recovered. Then it was kicked forward, and that gave the Beavers a chance. And we don't know which of the Beavers was under there with the ball. As you said, they came out with it, but that doesn't always mean anything. So we're settling down now. The referees have to call timeout to go pick up all their flags. So that's a little bit of a clean up the environment kind of thing. Second down, 5 yards to go. Ball on the 37. Barnes is in motion across the formation. Now it's a handoff. No, it's a fake handoff, and Carlisle keeps it. He's going the right side, tries to put a move on the defender. He's going to get about 3 yards on the play, but well defended by the Roadrunners.
Great job that time by Garrettson coming up from his defensive back and linebacker position. It was a predetermined quarterback run, so you get the sense when Carlisle's in, they're going to have a lot more predetermined quarterback draws, quarterback runs, as the first play was supposed to be a running play. The second play, he took it. Nice little pickup, shifty run to get it down to third and manageable.
Yeah, you might have thought maybe that they thought the emotions were running high for Butte. Maybe they would just go with the first fake, and it would be a good time to try the run. But we're in a situation, third down, maybe a little bit more than one. Casey Riley is in the game behind Matt Carlisle. Carlisle's going to hand it off to Riley. He's going to go up the middle. He's going to have enough, I think, for that first down. He is stopped at about the 43, but the sideline is signaling. I think he got it, and we'll see. We'll get confirmation. It's Casey Riley, and they are moving the 6 first down Beavers.
That was one of Matt Carlisle's good handoff in there by Casey Riley. Riley made a cut at the line of scrimmage. It didn't look like he was going to get it, and he just barreled the linebacker over to pick up the first down. Yeah,
Casey Riley entered the lineup about 4 games ago when Coach Osterhut said we need to get some bigger backs in there. Also, Joshua Moore was one of those. He has not played as far as I can tell today, but Casey Riley has been on the field for those short yardage plays, and he came through that time. So 10 minutes to go in the ball game. Looks like it's going to hand off to Parker. He's trying the left side, flag coming down immediately. Parker breaks free and gets up to about the 50-yard line. But we'll wait and see what the flag is about.
Parker did a good time in that job, just bouncing it to the outside, to the wide side of the field. Usually they run that into the boundary. They went to the wide side, picked up 6 yards. Let's see if they call a hold or a chop block here on that. They threw it pretty early, so we'll see what the indication is.
And Parker, again, pretty impressive running the ball today, as you say. He's, sometimes he finds his own way, and sometimes he goes with what they've cleared out for him. And we're going to have a legal procedure, perhaps a false start on the Beavers, so it'll be a 5. The good news is it's not a holding call, so then it's not a 10-yard or 15-yard penalty, so it's going to be a 5-yarder. It'll set up still a first down again. It'll be 1st and 15 this time from the 38-yard line. Parker in the backfield. Ian Simpson on the left side. Grayson Barnes on the right side. Robert Freeman split out to the right and Brandon Barthel split out to the left for the Beavers. 9:36 to go here in the ball game. Beavers lead by 1, 1st and 15. Showing pressure from Butte. It's a handoff to Parker, but he is shut down quickly. It'll be no gain and bring up a second down.
That little run slant on that time that brought Sullivan up from his spot, kind of creeping through, and Tariq did a good job at just breaking a couple tackles. He didn't pick up much. He might have got a yard or two, but they were selling out on the run. It appears when Carlisle's in, they're going to sell out against the run, force him to beat him with his arm.
He had that one good touch pass for the touchdown, but really hasn't thrown that much so far. Kenny Leith has been the one putting the ball up in the air for the Beavers so far in this ball game. 8:57, so just under 9 minutes to go. Second down and listed at 17 yards to go, so a loss of 2 by Parker. Carlisle's going to go ahead. It's a reverse coming around by Freeman, but strung out well by Butte. He's got one guy to beat, and he will not beat it. So a tremendous play by the Roadrunner defense, and it's going to be a big third down coming up for the Beavers.
That's a high-risk, high-reward play there, Phantom. You run Tariq into the side. You're hoping they're going to oversell it. You give it to Freeman. Freeman comes around the edge. And the block that you're hoping for is Matt Carlisle. He just whiffed on the guy, and unfortunately, another negative play for the Beavers.
Yeah, you got to get around. He got around the first guy, but then there was a second guy waiting for him, and by the time he got around the first guy, his momentum was a little bit diluted there, and he couldn't get going around the second guy. So it brings up a 3rd and 19 now. And Carlisle, as we talked about, hasn't put the ball up that much today. Let's see if he does it here. He does. He's under pressure down the middle. Throws it a little bit low. Was that ball caught? I think it was. And if he did, and we are seeing the signal that he did, that's going to be a first down for the Beavers.
That was a great throw and a great catch. I mean, sometimes when we were talking on the other side that Hughes will throw it a little bit low. That was a design throw right up the seam that time. They went to Freeman. Freeman goes down and catches it. They're looking at this upstairs, but nonetheless, they're going to say first down.
I don't think we have the capacity to look at it upstairs. This is junior college, so I don't know. But I do know that the referee and the back judge, or whatever he's called, was making a very vehement signal.
Actually, both of them were. You're right.
Yeah. So there you go. That's our upstairs. So let's not go upstairs.
We're
too
upstairs.
Much. We are. That's right.
We were looking at it.
Maybe
upstairs.
They're coming to us. It's 7:20 to go in the ball game. Big play by the Beavers. First down at the 45. Handing off the wrong way by Carlisle. He's going to follow what he thought was going to be the path, and he is going to get himself about 3 yards.
I can assure you that is not the design of the play by Coach Ryan Gomes. Hey, fake out your own team and run to the left behind the other side. But nonetheless, shows his athleticism, picks up actually about 4 yards on the play, so maybe they will put it in the playbook moving forward. But nonetheless.
Maybe they will. Do you think maybe sometimes that's a result of a 2-quarterback system working with running backs, and maybe they get the communication a little bit wrong there?
I'm an ex-quarterback, so it was the running back's fault. That was the next quarterback.
We
don't make any mistakes.
You were known as the friend of the tight end.
Oh, they liked me. They lobbied the coaches heavy.
They just loved you. That's all you did is throw the tight end 17 times in a row.
Open.
6:30 to go in the ball game. Second down and 5 to go. So a nice gain by Carlisle, and this time he's going to go ahead and do it again. He's going up the right side. He's going to get down to about the 36. He will be about a yard short, but no disconnect on that one. They knew it was him all the way.
It was actually a quarterback design, almost like a quarterback sweep, but he did a great job of finishing the run and getting it down to its 3rd and 1. Good job. They got a good push, and he ran well behind him.
And it looks like bringing in Casey Riley again with that what you call the power formation. That's been either the handoff to Riley or sometimes the quarterback keeps it. We've got about a yard to go. Looks like probably a true yard here at the 36-yard line. And it is the power formation with under center Carlisle. He hasn't taken a lot from under center, and he's going to hand that off to Riley left side. I think he got over the first down. He's still going. That wasn't exactly the mosh pit, but Riley takes it all the way down to 30. Really good, tough running from him today, Scott.
A great running, but a great call. Every time it's been 3rd and 4th and short, both teams have really just focused on the A and the B gap, the small gaps in the middle. That time they handed it off to Riley. Riley just bounced it around the outside, broke a tackle at the line of scrimmage, carried defenders, picked up a big first down.
Yeah, as we've said, he and Parker both kind of finding their own path sometimes. The offensive line doing a good job getting them some holes. Butte College with some good defensive pressure, but a first down now at the 30-yard line for the Beavers. Matt Carlisle in the shotgun. He's got a receiver out to the right, one on the short side to the left, and Parker next to him in the backfield. He's going to go ahead and take it himself again up the middle. He's got a little bit of room, and it looks like he got about 2, maybe 3 yards to set up second down.
And the thing he's doing a good job of, Phantom, with less than 5 minutes to go and up by 1, is protecting the football. They're obviously looking to strip. They want the turnover at this time. They have the wind at their back. Good design quarterback run. It also allows Tariq a little bit of leverage if they want to turn and give it to him or pitch it to him on an option play.
Right, and now Casey Riley over here getting a little bit of rest, waiting for that next power formation so he can go back in as the Beavers look over to the sidelines to get the call. They lead it 20-19, 4:25 to go in this game. Carlisle in this shotgun. He's going to go ahead and fake it. He's going to throw it. He's got time. He throws it across the middle on the ground. He had Barthel coming across the middle and just underthrew him.
I'm not exactly sure what happened there. That was a great play action. He had plenty of time. Barthel on the deep drag is wide open, would have picked up the first down and a lot of extra yardage, and the ball landed about 5 yards in front of him. I don't know if it got tipped at the line of scrimmage or not, or was just poorly thrown. Nonetheless, it's 3rd and long.
It looked like he had pretty good protection, and kind of surprising because they haven't thrown the ball all that much today. So good job by the offensive line to give him a chance. And we go to 3rd down now and 8 yards to go. We are at the 28-yard line. 4:17 to go, and he's going to throw again, looking to his right side. He pulls it down, and he throws it down the middle, and it's caught. A great play, and he is in the end zone. A touchdown for American River. We'll get a number on that. It was down the middle, that kind of like the secondary receiver, and a good throw and a great catch. Falls into the end zone. Touchdown Beavers.
That looks like it's Ian Simpson again. Is going to be my guess. What a game is he's having, and you know that was an ad-lib play. He was a play action. He was going to throw it deep down the side. Then he thought, oh, maybe I'm going to run it. Runs up to the line of scrimmage and actually throws one of his best throws over 2 defenders. Great catch.
And as an old man, I'm going to be grouchy and say this is why you went ahead and kicked it last time, so that you would have a chance right now with a successful PAT to put yourself 9 points ahead. They don't. They have it. Try to get it 8 points ahead, and it is good by Schreiner. So that makes it 27-19, 4:08 to go. Big play by Matt Carlisle, and what a job by the Beavers on that drive.
Ian Simpson doing a nice job. Penalty flag down. I think they're going to decline it. It was offsides on the defense. They'll decline it. They'll take the points. And I thought you're saying it's age that causes the grouchiness. I thought it was just general personality.
It is, but if they had had that point back, then it would be 28-19, and you wouldn't have been able to have been caught with one possession. But that, that's water under the bridge. And again, I think the key on that one is the ability of Matt Carlisle to go ahead and kind of ad-lib, little freelance there, and a good catch by Simpson. But Carlisle was definitely looking to one place to throw that ball, and to be able to pull it down and kind of start on the run and then find another receiver. Great job.
Yeah, great job of putting air underneath it. Ian Simpson's down there with 2 defenders. He catches it at the 4. He did a great job of carrying defenders in the end zone to get in there because it looked like it'd be 1st and goal, but he just kept going.
Yeah, as you mentioned, the pass he threw before that was at the feet of a guy 5 yards away, and that time he put it perfectly out there to give the Beavers the advantage. So they lead at 27-19, trying to get their 3rd win in a row and beat the number 8th ranked team in the state, the Butte College Roadrunners, but there is a lot of football left to go. Now, Scott, we've got the wind on the side of the Beavers, so hopefully Zach Schreiner can put this one in the end zone.
Well, and the other thing to think about, unlike the first half, Butte does have 3 timeouts, so they do have the capacity to have 2 possessions here if they get down close and need a field goal and then want to go for a touchdown. Nonetheless, huge opportunity here for the kicking game for American River.
Yeah, no, we've talked about it all day long. Beavers defense trying to get off on 3rd down. They have been able, I think, to put a little bit more pressure on Tanner Hughes in the last couple of series than we saw earlier. Here's Schreiner, kicks it, and it's going to be a short kick. It'll be picked up at about the 10-yard line. Going down the right side, now cutting it back up the middle and getting another good return. Knocked down at about the 37 or 38-yard line. That's DJ Jackson, the wide receiver. So again, when the Roadrunners need a good return, they get one.
A surprise there because with the wind at your back, they've got a pretty good kicking game. Nonetheless, like you said, Phantom, that was fielded about the 10, and they got a great return. So now they've got it up to about close to the 40-yard line. They're going to start at about the 37.
Yeah, 37, 38-yard line right there. 1st down, 3:59 to go. Beavers lead this one by 8 with the late touchdown pass. And Ian Simpson has become the target in the passing game today for the Beavers. But right now it's all about the defense, seeing Sloan and Donovan LeBon and the rest of them. Dom Spence, etc. Michael Sullivan as well. We've heard all those names today. And right now it's Tanner Hughes in the shotgun, the 6'5" quarterback out of Chico. He's going to go back to pass. He's got a little bit of pressure. He steps up. He's going to trip and fall at about the 40-yard line. And I think number 30 again was on the pressure there. So good job by the defensive line of the Beavers to put pressure on Hughes, and he stumbles up for about a 2-yard gain.
Kai Wallen and Sullivan getting in on the pressure.
Split a couple of wide receivers out to the right. Here's Hughes again. He's going to look down the middle this time. He's got time. He lets it fly and is defended well, but a catch, an incredible catch by Jackson on the left side. He is well defended, and he comes down with it at about the 26, make that the 24-yard line.
Matulich was right there. I actually thought this one was overthrown, but DJ Jackson goes up one hand and rips it down. They've got it down. They're moving at the 23.
Hughes by himself in the backfield. He's going to go ahead and throw a quick slant, and it's complete at the 20-yard line. Tackled immediately, but a nice chunk gain for the Roadrunners to set up second down.
A play designed by the Denver Broncos. They run out and they just go 3 little curls, and one of them's going to be wide open, and the guy closest to him was.
3 minutes to go in the game. Hughes in the shotgun again by himself. 2 out either side. He's going to throw that one down the middle, and it's a slant. He's open on the 5-yard line, and the catch is made by the Roadrunners.
Nice job by the tight end right there. That's Zach Woodle. He's been their man so far today. He was a good route, little skinny post over the middle, and they get it down to the 6.
2 minutes, 50 seconds. Here comes Hughes. They're going to take a little bit more time on this play. They've been going really fast, and he's completed a couple of passes, and now the American River College defense back against the wall on the 5-yard line, first down, and goal to go. Hughes with a running back behind him this time. He's got a tight end in motion. The handoff to Ramseer. He's going to cut up the middle. He's going to get nowhere and get shoved back down a little bit, but I think they'll probably give him forward progress back to the 5.
A slow developing run play that really just picked up 1 yard, and even though you've got the timeout, you've got to keep your eye on the clock. Obviously, they're thinking touchdown and 2-point conversion here and nothing else at this time, but nonetheless, if you're unable to punch it in, you do have all of those timeouts.
Yeah, if you get the touchdown and can't make the 2-point conversion, you want to give enough time for you to do something as we go down under 2 minutes now in this ball game. American River 27, Butte 19. Using the shotgun, runner to his left. He's got a man in motion who goes back. Now he's going to throw for it. He's going to go over the middle. He's got pressure, and he's going to be sacked at the 15-yard line.
That's Kai Wallen. What a play. He's not that big when you look at him, but he is so fast and so athletic. That's why everyone likes him. That move he made on the starting left tackle right there, because the receivers were breaking into their routes. He got in there before he even got to the third step of the drop.
We're down at the 13-yard line now, so 3rd and goal at the 13-yard line. A little more room for the pass patterns for Butte College, but a big play by Kai Wallen. 1:12 to go in this game. By himself in the shotgun is Hughes. He goes back. He looks to his right. He lost one out with the right defensive on it. It is caught for a touchdown by Butte College. Looks like it might have been Jalen. No, we've got a penalty on the play after the play, so we'll see on that. But the touchdown is registered by Butte College.
Jalen Hammer makes a phenomenal one-handed catch and then turns around and stands over his defender. They're going to call this unsportsmanlike conduct, and when you need 2 yards, if you take this, moves this back all the way out to the 17 if they take it.
Right. Well, if that's the case, they are going to take it, I would imagine, and it would make it, as you say, that would be a huge thing to happen and a huge benefit for American River College. Now, you said before that Butte does have all 3 of their timeouts, so if they do not make this 2-point conversion, by no means is this game over, but it is a huge boon for the American River College as the penalty is assessed.
Look at this, Phantom. So it would have been your normal 3-yard lines that go for the 2, but because he stood over them and had the unsportsmanlike, now the 2-point conversion is going to come back from closer to the 20, about the 18-yard line.
About the 18-yard line, exactly. So we have a touchdown by Hammer, a tremendous play, the second catch in a row that's amazing by Butte College, as Jackson had one earlier. But right now, let's see American River's strategy here as they have nobody at the goal line. They're bringing everybody up. Hughes in the shotgun. He's got Ramseer to his right side. 2 wide receivers left, 1 to the right. He's going back. He's going to let it go over the middle, and it is broken up, it looks like, by American River. A little bit behind the receiver, Scott, and the Beavers hold on.
They do. Zach Woodle did have a step. He was running that little skinny post up the seam, the tight end. He was open. But Hughes, who has been so good today, throwing his 13th and 14th touchdown that time, threw it behind him. And now with 1 minute and 4 seconds to go, if you're Butte, we're looking at onside kick time.
Yeah, we are. Now, we did a high school game last night where I think there was 3 onside kicks in a row at the end. One of them was successful, and I'll tell you, that was West Park, and the guy who was kicking the onside kicks was really good. But right now, even like you say, with 104 and the 3 timeouts, you think they're going to go ahead and go for the onside kick here. So American River, and I talked to Coach Osterhout on Friday, and he talked about, hey, we practice every situation for every conceivable idea, anything that could happen. So, they've got guys that they're counting on in this situation. And now American River has put the ball on the ground a couple of times today. So they have the 27-25 lead, and they are going to send one guy, their deep guy, is going to go back to about the 30-yard line. So they're expecting something coming up from Butte College.
They've got 10 players within 5 yards of this. This is their onside. This is the hands team.
Yep.
They are kicking the onside kick. It looks like it'll go right to left, but as we learned last night, sometimes there's other little versions of this.
Dante Jackson, the kicker, is looking like he's going to go to his right, and now he's going to move around a little bit and kind of like moose with it because he's trying to get the offense to kind of shift over, which they are doing now to their right and his left. So we have 4 on the left and 6 on the right, and there's the kick, and it's going to bounce up, and it is loose and covered by, looks like it was covered by Butte. Butte College gets the onside kick, and they have possession with 1 minute and 3 seconds to go.
That was a perfect onside kick. It rolled 9 yards, and then it took that big hop, bounced off the ARC receiver, and rolled all the way down to Grayson Barnes, who looks like the one it bounced off, gets up holding his arm. Nonetheless, Butte, with 1 minute to go, has an opportunity to pull ahead.
1 minute to go on the 46-yard line. Remember, they're going against the wind. That might factor in because we're talking about a 2-point lead now, so field goal obviously is on the table. So the onside kick happens, the onside kick works, and now let's see if the American River College defense, who's been under the gun for a lot of this second half, and they've made some big plays, but victimized that time by the onside kick.
And only needing a field goal to win this. It's a little bit different calculation now for Butte.
Let's see, Hughes in the shotgun. He's got Ramsayer behind him. He's got Jackson going to the right. He's got plenty of time. He's going to go up the middle. Pressured by the Beavers. They're going to hit it from behind. They knock the ball away. There's a big scrum. There's a penalty on the play. It's going to be American River College with the recovery, but let's wait and see the penalty.
We'll make sure they don't call targeting or something on that. If the play as it stands is ARC's ball recovering the fumble, and it's Kai Wallen, number 97, who's had a big day.
Yeah, and they were tracking Hughes all the way on that run. They hit him from behind, and he was a little bit out in no man's land there, and they came from behind and hit him. So we're waiting to see what the penalty call is right now as the Beavers have their offense on the field, if that's any indication.
Early indications, though, is that this is going to go against ARC. Let's take a look.
And it is going to be offsides on the Beavers. Offsides on the Beavers.
No, it is still going to be ARC's ball.
So what the signal looked like it was an offside signal, and it gave a second signal as well. But you're right, the Beaver offense is still on the field.
Well, it looks like it was almost a sideline warning, but with his hands behind him.
Well, you're right, I think, Scott, because remember earlier in the game there was a sideline warning against the Beavers. So if that's the second one,
sideline
that's
warnings
the
against
second
them.
one. Yeah, so there you go. So now we've got first down for American River College. So they got the onside kick and then turned it over right away, 24-yard line, 52 seconds to go, but I believe they still have all 3 of their timeouts left. So American River College will probably have to run 3 plays. If they don't get a first down, they might have to give it back to the Butte College Roadrunners. Huge play by the defense. Wallen comes up with the fumble. In the shotgun, it looks like Carlisle again. He's going to hand it off to Parker, hold on to it and let Parker go, and Parker goes for about 3 yards. And timeout will be called. Now the time is running. It's 45 seconds to go. So a little scary there, Scott, as Carlisle kind of held on to that ball for a long time.
Well, it was a read option play, and now is not the time to be indecisive. Either give it to him or keep it yourself, one or the other. You see that happen all the time. There was a game this morning I was watching. It was Clemson. He held on to the ride way too long. So the running back releases it, and then the quarterback releases it. You need to be decisive right now.
Yeah, you and I do high school football. I know you do UC Davis football with the great Scott Marsh and Doug Kelly. But you got to admit, junior college is a little bit different breed of cat, isn't it?
It's a little bit different breed of cat, but I tell you what, there's a lot of talent on the field there.
There's a heck of a lot of talent. You'll be watching a lot of this talent on Saturday mornings before you go to your games next year when you're doing American River College, because there's a lot of these guys that are going to be playing on Saturdays for the big four-year schools.
It's kind of neat to watch the stepping stone. We had a great high school football game last night, the FVL championship game, Section 3, Placer against West Park, and then here you see really the best in junior college athleticism, and then you see the guys that are going to be going to play at the next level after that. I mean, there's a lot of talent on both sides, but I tell you what, critical, we talked about it before the game, kicking game and turnovers. The kicking game and turnovers could really prove to be the difference here.
You know, the other thing that's the difference, and we talked about a little bit at halftime when we were kind of like sitting around, is that there's a lot of penalties that are emotional penalties in these games, and they really decide games, and they've done a lot of it today. And right now it is 47 seconds to go, second down, 7 yards to go after Tariq Parker's 3-yard run. Carlisle is in the game. He's going to hand it off to Parker again. Tariq's going to go left side. No, he holds on to it himself, runs to the right side, and he's got to go down in bounds, and he does go down in bounds. He'll necessitate the Roadrunners to use another timeout, just about maybe a 1-yard gain.
A predetermined bootleg the whole way, and Elijah O'Neal was right there with him. But I tell you what, Elijah O'Neal's a big guy. Right there for Matt Carlisle to be able to fight him off and not be carried out of bounds was a big move, forcing them to use that timeout.
Yeah, and you talk about guys we're going to be seeing playing. I think Elijah O'Neal definitely is going to be a guy that we see playing at a 4-year school. So now it's third down. It's still 7 yards to go. The ball on about the 27-yard line of the Beavers. They lead at 27-25. 39 seconds to go, and we do believe that one timeout left for the Butte College Roadrunners. Again, I don't think they're going to take any chances with this, Scott, so a lot's going to happen with Basirovich and with that punt on fourth down with about 35 seconds to go. One good thing, of course, with the wind, and he has had a couple of really nice punts today, but if we look ahead a little bit, that's going to be a critical play, and of course, the snap and the protection is huge.
Well, this is a different kind of punt, too, Phantom. You have your base punt, then you have your punt safe, kind of like you do out of your end zone. You take one step, you directionally kick it, you do not allow them to have an opportunity to return it. You make them go as long as they can with no timeouts.
All right, so Riley is in the game, it looks like. Third down, 7 yards to go. A lot of people in the press box are yelling. I like that. It gives the commotion factor is very high at this game.
It's got a nice echo, too, when they start screaming.
It really does. Yeah. It's like they're recording an album or something.
All that for adding 1 second.
Added 1 second to go, and that could make the difference. And here is Carlisle. He's going to hand it off. Up the middle, it is Casey Riley, and he gets a couple of yards up to about the 31 or 32. So that gives Basirovich a little more room. Takes 5 seconds off the clock. So what we have, Scott, fourth down, about 4 yards to go. That's not important. We're going to have a punt situation for the Beavers with 35 seconds to go, and they're up 2.
They've got no timeouts left, so it's going to matter where this punt goes. I'd be shocked if they give the returner an opportunity to return it at all. Directionally kicked, get it out of bounds. And again, if you are Butte, all you need is a couple of first downs to get down. All they need is a field goal to win. They just trail by 2 at this point.
Yeah, DJ Jackson, who's made some spectacular plays. He is the back to return the kick for Butte College. He'll be standing at about the 20-yard line when everything gets settled, but everybody getting together, trying to get their ducks in a row here for the final 35 seconds. It would have been a pretty spectacular game, really. I mean, we're going to bring you to a junior college game. I'm going to bring you, debut you as the guest analyst. You're going to get a good game, and I think you've got one.
It was a phenomenal game, and as you mentioned, cooler heads need to prevail in key situations. Hammer makes a great one-handed catch and then gets the 15-yard penalty, and they are unable to convert.
That might have decided the entire thing, but, boy, it isn't over yet. Again, on his 20, maybe about the 15-yard line is DJ Jackson, and he's already shown us what he can do with the return. The snap obviously critical right here as Butte is coming in, and it's on the ground and picked up and kicked away by Basirovich. A nice play, and it's going to be short, picked up and fallen down by DJ Jackson. So Jackson trying at the last second to try to do something with it, but it was too down low, and he fell, and it's 27 seconds to go.
That whole play was made by Basirovich. That was low along the ground. If he's unable to get the punt off, they're already in field goal territory. Nonetheless, good job by DJ Jackson coming up, making the catch to give them some decent field position.
Yeah, and even though he only made like a 1 or 2 yard return, if he would have let that one hit, it might have been 10 or 15 yards. We saw it earlier in the game where it went down all the way inside the 5. So here we go, 27 seconds to go, 27-25. The Beavers lead this one, trying to get their third straight win. And Butte trying to go to 5-2 on the season. Hughes in the shotgun. And Basir behind him, and they're moving on the right side. He's going to throw it down the right side. He throws it up the right side, and it is knocked away. Great defensive play by the Beavers.
That's Dom Spence, who early in the game knocked the ball loose for the first fumble of the game. But let's see what the flag is on the play. That was a good little one-on-one route, but good job by Spence defensively.
Yeah, it would have been easy to have contact on that one, and Spence looked like that was pretty clean. But, of course, there is a penalty on the play, as there often is. And we're waiting for the signal.
It's against
Looks like
Butte.
Butte is moving back a little bit, but the ball, and here we go. Now we're going to walk it back. 5, let's make that
shift.
Just a 5-yard penalty, illegal shift. It was getting a first down again, but more importantly, you don't get those 6 seconds back that play took. So 21 seconds to go. And as you mentioned, Scott, the fact that they only need a field goal might change the defensive strategy a little bit. They've got a safety at about the 47-yard line now. 2 receivers out to the left, and if you're Butte, there's no chance. You've got some great receivers. Just send one of them down there and hit them. Here goes Hughes. He's going across the middle, and that one is caught and tackled at the 50-yard line. Looks like Jalen Hammer. 13 seconds to go here, and everybody's getting back into position as they got to reset the sticks, and they do. And we're going to have a spike, but they didn't even let the sticks get in there, so it'll be 13 seconds to go. So no time went off the clock on a play, which seems weird.
And what Coach Osterhout is arguing is they had 8 men on the line of scrimmage. They didn't have a receiver back. That's an illegal formation. They didn't call it. That's what he's asking for.
Well, he's not been happy with much of the things that have happened. I don't know how you can do a play and not have a second come off the clock. So you did a play and time has stood still. So it's at the 50-yard line. No timeouts, 13 seconds to go, but they've got a couple of game breakers in Jalen Hammer and DJ Jackson. So let's see how the Beavers play this one. Hughes at the 45 goes back to pass. He's rolling to his right. He's going to send it out to the sideline. Nice play defensively by the Beavers to knock that one away.
Cole Douglas, phenomenal job. Almost came up and intercepted that. The route was at the first down stick. Hughes rolled that way, threw it on a frozen rope, but he stared his receiver down, and Cole Douglas came up and knocked it away.
Let me ask you this. With 7 seconds to go, is it a situation where you go for the goal right now? Because if you put the ball in there, you're going to have to complete it 30 yards probably conservatively to get into position for a field goal, and then you're going to have to go up and probably spike it. You have no timeout left, so do you need to go all the way right now?
If you have a hook and ladder or something funky, you need to do something. And you can tell by your question that the Beavers are all the way back to the 10. They think they are. Actually, yeah. I think you throw this and try to get a field goal.
So Beavers are going to take their timeout as we have kind of a soccer game. We have a 4-3-4 defense for the Beavers, and they had 3 wide receivers out to the right, and you're saying do the short pass and then try to go ahead and convoy it down the right side and to get the Beavers kind of spread out all over the field, and maybe you get lucky.
Well, we watched him in warm-ups, how deep he could kick from. Let's say he's probably decent with the win from 30 yards. Right now it's out to 50.
Yeah.
With the defense that the Beavers have out there right now, I literally would just throw it to the fastest receiver, let him run for as many yards as he can and run out of bounds and take a field goal, because the way they're lined up, you're going to get tackled. You're not going to have another opportunity.
So do you think that Butte College might change what they were going to do based on American River, the defense that they showed them then?
And ARC might change the look that they showed them.
Oh, you're so clever. You, Mr. You. No wonder you're on ESPN Plus.
Just ESPN Plus.
I'm on ESPN Minus, which is means that my subscription has run out.
So, look, they're not going as far deep. They might actually make an adjustment because you don't want to give him a free run for 20 yards and let him have the field goal.
Exactly. All you do is, exactly. So let's see if they counter by this one by sending Hammer or Jackson down the sideline and just trying to go ahead and see what happens. And seeing Sloan and Kai Wallen and them are in there going to put some pressure on. Here we go. 7 seconds to go. Hughes back to pass. He sent it over to the side to the – out of bounds at about the 30. He got a couple of extra yards, but there's 2 seconds to go in the game. It would be a 52-yard field goal right now if they're going to try it.
Come at the 35, 36.
It's at the 35-yard line. So they are going to try it. And remember, the first game we saw this year, you weren't here, but it's a 50-yard field goal going the same way by Zach Schreiner. This one lining up closer to 54 yards. And beware the fake, obviously, but here comes, see if they're going to freeze the kicker here. 54 yards. Snap is down. The kick is up. The kick is going to be way short, and the American River College Beavers have pulled this one out, 27-25.
That ball went straight up in the air and hit the jet stream at about the 10-yard line. It is laying mercilessly down at the 12, and literally they're going to go resuscitate it. Nonetheless, Phantom, thanks for having me. This was a phenomenal junior college football game, and ARC now, don't look, they've won 3 in a row.
Yeah, this is a huge thing. And I think really, when you think about it, I'm surprised they have the weapons in Hammer and Jackson. I'm really surprised they didn't just at least, because if you throw the deep pass, if you get a pass interference, then they might get something out of that. But asking a guy to kick a 54-yarder in these conditions, just impossible.
Well, we watched him with the wind before the game, struggling to make it from 30, which is a 47-yard field goal. Here you ask him for 54, and almost, that's a tough feat for anybody to do. As you mentioned, you go 3 receivers left, 2 right, maybe throw it up in the air and try to make a play.
Okay, so that incredible win for American River College. That's their 3rd in a row, and they wanted us. The coach was talking about with us a couple of times. Physicality is what made the play. Obviously, there were some emotional penalties on both sides that ultimately might have decided the game. But when you look at just on the field of play, Scott, offensively, who stands out from American River for you? Today's game.
Well, today's game, I think it's the tight end, Ian Simpson. I think it's the fact that the quarterbacks didn't make key turnovers. We were kind of seeing which one would step up. I thought both quarterbacks played pretty well. No doubt Tariq Parker's a fantastic running back. But honestly, Ian Simpson, the tight ends, had 2 touchdown catches today. He was really the difference maker from the offensive side. And on the defensive side, I'm going to go back to a guy like a Dom Spence and Kai Wallen. I mean, Dom Spence forces a turnover, makes a great knockdown play there. And how many times did we see 97 in the backfield getting in on a very, very good junior college quarterback in Tanner Hughes?
Yeah, I'm not going to go person on defense. I really think that entire defensively, they played a really good game defensively. Now, if we break it down, as we talked about, as you pointed out early, that 3rd and medium yardage, 6 to 10. They had a problem. That was the Achilles heel coming up. But, boy, they put pressure, and especially in that 4th quarter, Scott, I thought they put more pressure on Tanner Hughes and made him do things he didn't want to do, and I think that might have been the difference.
The 2nd and 3rd quarter, I felt like American River really survived. The 1st quarter, they came out, did what they wanted to do, led 14-7. How big was it that – if you look at the final score, how big was it that Butte missed the extra points? It was 14-13 at halftime.
Huge.
And then it comes down to a great touchdown down there, and then they get a 15-yard penalty, and they got to go 17 or 18 yards to pick up 2 points. So nonetheless, the extra points, the mental game. But really, if you're American River, you played a really, really good team.
You really did.
Ranked number 8, and you beat them by 2, and you've won your 3rd game in a row.
Yeah, and just a little shout out to Matt Carlisle, who did most of his damage running it today. He didn't play as much as Kenny Leith. I thought they both played well, but Carlisle on that last touchdown play, the amount of improving that he did and looking for one receiver and then trying to run and then pulling up on the run, finding Simpson down the middle and making a really good throw. I think that's a play. That might have been the play of the game.
19-14, it's 3rd and 9. You and I are thinking about what they're trying to do. This first look, everybody's covered, so he looks like he's going to run, and at the last second decides to put some air underneath it. Simpson catches it over 2 defenders, carries him 4 yards in the end zone, and that ends up being really the difference in the game.
Absolutely. There you have it. American River wins this one 27-25 over Butte. American River moving to 4-3 on the season. Butte falls to 4-3. We are back here in a couple of weeks. I think our next home game is November the 12th against Siskiyou. Scott Gordon, thank you so much for joining us. Fantastic job and a fantastic game. Maybe someday we'll work together again. For Mark the Phantom Lowe and for Scott Gordon and for Stones McCoy down on the field. You are watching and you have watched American River College Athletics on